recording in progress. So last time you guys there was a lot going on. So first, if we go back a session or two, basically you guys were the Gin and Tonic was in the hold of the Defenestrator when you guys dropped out of warp next to where the Ursae space station was, the secret space station for their project. Andrew said he's not going to be able to make it tonight. So you guys have no captain and no doctor. I'm sure everything will be fine. Um, it'll be fine. You guys have guns and spacesuits. You guys will be fine. It'll be no worries.
You're gonna show up the
Um,
next episode, just the credits rolling. Like, what happened? What happened? Like, it's all over. It's all over.
campaign concluded. They're back at Mirabilis Station. When Yamazaki's like, well, they were employees of ours for a
We
time.
said we were near the end of this campaign.
Like,
But you
like,
guys, you guys could end it tonight if you wanted to. I mean,
yeah.
there's,
Like, you
I
guys
mean,
should,
if you guys feel like we can't continue, um,
they're like show up at the in memoriam reel. Like, there's Coffin Doyle.
yeah, like at the Oscars,
Yeah, play the
in
sad
the
music.
arms of the angels. All right, so you guys jumped into the parsec, inside the defenestrator, and the moment you guys came out of jump, Colonel Seventide, he basically ejected the Gin and Tonic out into space. Uh, then the three affront battle cruisers immediately went and started fighting with the Ursae Warfleet ships, five or six of those ships, and they immediately began into pitch battle. You could almost hear Seventide laughing with joy through the bulkhead as the ships fell into fell in. Yeah, exactly. But the thing that got you guys did have some moments where you guys were attacked by a couple of like strange space creatures, and then a couple of Ursay fighters came after you guys. So you had a little bit of a space battle, but you finally got to the space station. And one of the things that you noticed quite quickly when you began heading towards the space station itself is that there had been a huge hole burrowed out of it. So realistically, it kind of looked like this. Let me just go back and show you what we kind of looked at. Here we go. This is the cross view. So basically, you guys out of the way here and put you down here. As you guys sort of move towards the ship, the space station, you could see that there was a bunch of essentially there was a cylindrical hole which looked like it had been punched through or shot through the
Got
insulation.
through.
This hole is enormous. I mean, you could easily fly the gin and tonic right through it if you wanted to end the campaign
No,
tonight.
no, no.
But it looks like so, and then there's a lot of debris. I mean, scanners could see, that there was a lot of problems. So, what you did was also Jin was able to sort of sort out, are there any life signs on there? And there were several, not nearly as much as there ought to have been, because in addition to sorting out life signs, Jin was also able to, uh, they did. So it looks like an experiment went sideways and something bad happened and vaporized a good chunk of this space station. So there's a lot of debris in the sky. There's a lot of smaller ships kind of running around doing things, but Jin was able to sort of take a peek inside. Now, what Jin tell you is that this hole is generating just absolutely massive amounts of jump space radiation, and Jin was like, I cannot recommend you get. We have a jump drive on this ship, so we cannot get closer than a certain distance to this. So you're going to have to take the slice, which you guys did. The slice doesn't have a jump drive, so the jump drive, the jump radiation coming off of this thing will have less of an effect. Nevertheless, you guys
Less.
kind of, yeah, kind of came at it from the side, and you docked at a exterior bulkhead maintenance uh what's the word I'm looking for?
Hatch.
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 Yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically a
bulkhead.
maintenance
Yeah.
hatch for doing maintenance on the skin of the on the outside skin of the
On the habitat level.
yeah, on the habitat level. So yeah, you guys essentially landed right here. And you were able to get in. It took a minute and a little bit of fancy computering on Chuck's behalf, but you guys managed to get in and you got into the thing. Now, these docking mechanisms have various kinds of security within. There's a full-on airlock on the inside for the maintenance guys, but basically you entered into a maintenance area that was servicing this hatch essentially. And by servicing, I mean this is a maintenance area where the maintenance dudes or Ursaes would use this hatch to sort of get outside and sort of do stuff. Now you guys come in here and there's anything but maintenance guys in here. Um, so one of the things that you notice quite quickly, and I'm just going to pop this back in, is that there was no atmosphere in either inside or in the lock or inside the building. So your words right there. And this is something that Jin mentioned to you guys before, that there were places within that Jin could detect that had atmosphere. And Jin was the first to admit that the jump space radiation was playing hell with with the details of his sensors. But he was able to find that there were locations of certain people, Sophonts, aliens, Ursae, and other, that he could detect. Now, he couldn't. There was also he was like, look, there's also a lot of dead bodies on this thing, and that kind of stuff. So, but you were able to sort of pinpoint the area closest to where the largest component, the largest segment of human-like life signs were visible. And so you went in there. Now, as you got in, you realized the graviton plates are still working, so you still got gravity, although it might be spotty in certain places depending on the damage. Um, but there's no atmosphere. Your guess is that something that this hole pierced multiple decks, and essentially vented a great deal of atmosphere out into the thing. And you could see as you guys approach, you could see shitloads of ice crystals and stuff like that, sort of floating around in a big cloud around the spaceship, which a space station, which is normal for vented atmosphere.
Probably if we look close, we'll find a bunch of bodies floating around too.
Yeah, you weren't looking too close. You guys were trying to. So you guys came at it from a weird angle so that you could avoid most of the crap. You weren't looking, and frankly, you didn't ask Jin, "Hey, is there a lot of bodies out there?" Because Jin probably would have said yes. But yeah, so you guys got in, you found your way through, and sort of looked in a couple of places, ran into a couple of creatures, especially the creatures that looked like that one creature that was in the tank. But now behind you, coming through the door towards Weber, is another creature that looks a little different. Kind of looks like this,
Oh,
like a floating squid with eyes on the tail.
oh,
Not sure what that's
Squidbert.
about, but it's big and it's headed and it's sort of kind of floating your way. Weber, I don't know that you actually closed that door yet.
Wasn't
In fact, I don't
Yeah,
think you did.
He has not.
He has
I have
not.
not. I believe there
So,
was a lot of gunfire, going around my ears, out towards it.
well, there's some gunfire going out in the hallway because there's another one of those
No,
creatures,
I mean, I
one of these
thought
guys.
I thought the captain and
Tennille?
um yeah, I
Damn.
thought the captain was firing past me.
Yes.
That's
We
right.
did
He
for a
was
while,
firing
but
it.
we need you to close the door.
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to take Captain Wagner out and the captain.
Oh, Mallory's gonna open up. Ah!
So where's every uh
What could go wrong with this scenario?
I assume
oh,
you're
I
like
deleted
integrate.
Tam on
Did
accident.
you
Hold on.
just take Tam out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's
No,
Tab?
no, I'm back on the slice.
There
Yeah,
he is.
he just got sucked in by subspace radiation or just.
He's like, yeah, this is crazy. I don't know if we should even do this, that kind of thing. I don't know. It's nuts. But yeah, so you guys have been so a couple you've seen a couple of these dudes, the big eye dudes, and
Those are other.
yeah, other. So you've seen a couple of these guys running around. I think you killed one or
Yeah.
chased it off.
No,
And
it's dead. It's up in the bathroom.
oh, it's up in the bathroom, right? Okay. And then there's another one sort of came running down the hallway to at Mallory, and Mallory is engaged in a bit of fisticuffs with it right now. In the meantime, the squid dude is floating up from the south towards Weber. So you guys haven't entered. You guys are still in the maintenance dock area. You guys haven't entered the habitat area proper, but it's at the other side. You assume it's at the other side of this, the entryway to get
So
into there.
where's the squid guy? I don't see an icon for it,
You don't see him because we were at. He's down here.
but I can see that where you're pinging and there's no monster there.
You
he's
you
there.
you see the gray area because you've been through there, but you
Yeah.
don't see it in color because you don't see it now.
Okay.
If you move your guy sort of like on
Little
I don't
top
hopper.
want
of Weber and
I
thing, you
don't want
can.
to see the big squid thing. So
Yeah,
if I'm here half blind and ignorant, I'm perfectly happy.
got his sunglasses on from Hitchhiker's Guide to
Yeah,
show.
my other people's problem glasses. I can't
Yeah,
see shit.
he's got his bug bladder beast glasses on. I see nothing.
Yeah,
You
right.
can't see me. I can't see
Well,
it.
okay. That being said, Bishop, you're the one who goes before the squid, so we might need you to run over there and close the door.
Actually, Mallory goes before me.
Do you think
Well,
Mallory's really
Mallory's too
big in
far away
closing a
from the
door?
door to close
Yeah.
the
No,
door.
I'm not. I'm talking about I'm expecting to be ducking and dodging out of a hellfire going down in the hallway down there. So let me catch my wits after he's done. Then we'll see what happens.
Okay, Mallory, you're up.
Well,
No pressure.
Les, do I see this guy here?
Which guy? Oh yeah, he's right next to you.
Oh, okay,
And he
fine.
looks like he's getting ready to do that thing where they wreck
Really?
your mind a little bit.
I hate
Uh,
that thing.
Now you guys are now so because there's no atmosphere in here, you guys are all in spacesuits and you have your armor on. So you've got oxygen, but the spacesuits are providing. You guys have all that information. The spacesuits are providing, protection for you. But if a spacesuit gets too much damage to it, then there's going to be a problem.
Gotcha. So I just want to take this thing out right away. Um,
Okay.
so
Gonna
stunning
kick it right
fist.
in the
Wait,
chest.
no,
This
wait.
is Sparta.
Uh, let me see.
I was thinking automatic 12 gauge to the face.
Either that.
This is new Sparta.
Um,
It
okay, so hold on a minute.
it does have a quality.
Les,
Mhm.
I do have that wo- wonderful spacey sci-fi automatic shotgun, but
Yep.
I also have the stagger laser rifle. Now,
Right.
which was I holding? I think I was holding the laser rifle
I
actually.
think you were as well. Yeah.
Uh,
So I think that it was the rifle.
so it says stagger laser rifle, 6 shots, 5D plus 3 per hit. Does that sound right to you?
Yes, it does.
Hmm.
So hold on, let me get that.
I
Get that
can
up.
paste that for you here. Let me, hang on a minute. Uh,
Yay, he's holding the rifle. We might not be deaf when he's finished.
so here,
The outside audio dampeners are in full effect. So
Oh, good.
right. Um, so uh, does that mean I get 6 shots at this thing?
let me track. All right, you are stagger laser rifle. Auto three. So you've got the big boy. So I have 3 shots at 5D plus three,
Oh, okay. All right.
not
Three
six.
shots. You know what? 3 shots. I'm sure that you're right. I probably got carried away.
Okay. No, no worries, no worries. Everybody, I don't think there's anyone on this call who wouldn't get a little carried away with an automatic laser rifle.
This is awesome. This is actually what I want for Christmas. Is
All right.
a laser rifle.
Just,
That'd be great.
what are you doing? I'm mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
If automatic laser rifles existed, I would own one.
All right.
I might have to
There's,
sell my truck, but I would own one.
they are cool. All right. So Mallory, the guy's right next to you. You're gonna blast away.
I'm gonna blast. I gotta cook this guy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I don't like to inflict harm on uh, uh, a- alien species I could learn from. But you know what? He's trying to kill me. So
He is
uh,
definitely trying to kill you.
so
I think Ono is having an effect on Mallory.
Yeah.
Because when I first met Mallory, he was a psychopath who would kill anything for any reason. Now he's got a conscience. Odd that.
maybe Mallory's been reading some
Ancient medieval text written by Ono.
that's right.
Ancient medieval text.
Good.
I love this. Ono of
Oh no, of what
where's he
planet?
from? Yeah, what was the name of his monastery?
Oh,
Oh,
Monastery of the Twisted Iron.
I love this Twisted Iron guy. He's awesome. All right. So Mallory, you were
Yeah.
gonna go
So
ahead and fire directly at this creature.
sure. I want to shoot it a lot, but should I spend some points here? How do I
Well, so
spend?
so at that range, it's a DC 15 to hit this thing.
Great.
So it's close, so it's easier, right? So if you were trying to snipe it from 200 meters away, that would be different.
Got it.
But this it's right. I mean, it's right in front of you. It does not seem to care or even recognize that you have a weapon either. It just came running right on top of you.
Okay.
So it's DC 15. You have, hold on, let's take a look at Mallory Graves.
A lot of
So
negatives to that.
he's got a lot of stuff. So practice with guns. So that's going to give you um, the ability to use combat prowess, +1 damage. So combat prowess is so +2 to your damage things. You have trained in speed defense and uh, you're defense minded. So. I think so. You get your practice with guns, so you get 3 off for there. So that takes it down to a 12.
Mm.
You are jumpy, so you have +2 to your speed pool. You have edge there, and you also have edge and might. Now it's gunfire is a speed check, so you add +2 to your speed pool, which you've already done. Um, so I would say it starts out as DC 12. You add your speed edge, which brings it down to a 9. Now you're talking points.
All right, cool. I'll burn 2 points.
2 points. All right. So that is going to be it's plus okay, I can never remember. So I think it's +3 for the first point and
Yeah,
plus
Right.
2 for every thereafter point. So minus more 5. So that takes it down to a 4 or better on
right.
a D20 to hit.
That's fine. Because I know this. If it hits me, it's gonna be bad. So I'm gonna just cook it real good. So I roll a D20.
D20, yeah. And you're going to roll 3 times for each laser bleam.
Gotcha.
Laser bleam.
Okay.
A
Now,
bleam.
so
Bleam? I don't
hang
think
on,
that's the technical term.
hang on a minute. No, okay.
Yeah. If you're in
While
the
I
southern
roll,
quadrants of the galaxy, they got a little drawl down there. It's a bleam.
We're shooting some laser bleams and some swamp rats.
Yeah.
hold on. While I roll my laser beam, I gotta provide the sound effect. So hold on. Zappo. Uh, Zappo. And hang on a
Okay,
minute.
that's a hit.
Zappo, Zappo. Oh, ooh. Oh, really? I rolled a 1. I rolled a 1. I rolled a
Ooh,
1.
okay, let's roll that again. And if you get below a 4 again, oh no, it's okay. So that one goes awry, but it does stop your turn.
Oh,
So
What
one
would happen if he
hit.
rolled a one?
1 hit.
Well, then it would
That's
be a confirmed fumble, wouldn't it?
Then it would
With
be
a with
Zappo Boomo.
with a
We
laser
don't want
rifle.
that. Yeah.
My laser beam done blowed up in my face.
Yeah.
so it's 5D plus 3 per hits.
+2. So
Oh,
you had one hit, so it's 5D +5 technically. 5D
um,
6.
5D. So 5D plus 6 per hit.
No, +5. 5D
Oh,
6s.
wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 5D6s.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna roll that, and I roll a 19
19 +5 is 21. All right.
plus
So
5.
yeah, you get
24.
extra damage.
Gotcha.
Oh,
24.
sorry, 24.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can't believe I hit this stupid thing. It was right there, and I hit it once. All right. I realize combat is. I never been in combat, but that's gonna be. It's not gonna.
Well, you
Ah,
probably you had a fumble, or well, a prospective fumble. So you probably it's close quarters. So you probably banged your rifle against something, or just
shit.
stumbled or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, but
Nevertheless, that one blast knocks it pretty puts a hole directly through the creature, and he's
good.
kind of flummoxed that there's this burnt. I mean, it's like a little pencil hole that would just literally you could see through it if you bent down and looked through it.
Got it.
It went by, and you saw the remainder of the laser sort of go careening off the bulkheads. But yeah, you hit him.
I one confirmed hit, and I kind of muffled the rest. Yeah.
Or your rifle just jammed.
My my rifle jammed. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Throw it at him. All
All
right.
right.
So, do you want to move, or do you want to stay in the doorway of the whatever stateroom that
Well,
is?
what I want to do, let me get rid of this dice roller. Can I move down the hall toward my people, like right to here?
Like retreat, sure.
right there. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna use the Alt key. And is this a door right here?
Bravely
It is,
ready.
but it's open.
It's open. Can I close it?
Yeah, probably. It's just its power still seems to be working. So, yeah, you could close it.
If I have time, I'm gonna dash in there and close it, just because I know how bad it is if we get hit by that thing, and I'm gonna be ready for my next turn because I kind of flubbed it this time.
Okay. All right, it closes. Zhook.
Yeah. All right. Good. Okay.
All right, so that takes us to Bishop Hawk's turn.
So is this door that Weber's standing in front of, is that an electronic door as well?
It is.
Is the device on my side?
Yeah, it is. The control, yeah, it's to the right
Then
side as you face it.
I'm going to close the door.
All right, you're gonna close that door. A lot of door closings going on. All right. Vroom. Boom. All right, now that door's closed. I need
And
Weber.
I've cut Weber in half.
Yeah, we gotta get him out of the way there. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Let's get Mehmet out of the way too. There you go. All right, perfect. All right, so yeah, so now both doors are closed, and you guys essentially walled yourselves off in what looks to be some sort of some sort of I don't want to say rec room, but some sort of like meeting place. So you could see that there's a big table, there's a big view screen on the wall, which seems to be inert. There is a along the eastern wall as you look at it, there's like a sink and cabinets and things like that. This looks like maybe some sort of maybe lunchroom or something like that.
Does this door, does the device for this door have a lock?
It will. The one that you just shut.
Yes.
It doesn't have a lock per se, but to open it, somebody would have to sort of activate it from the other side. But it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't have an obvious lock. There's no way. There's no sliding bolt or anything like that.
No, I mean electronically. Like
Right.
you tell it to close, can you tell it to stay closed, even if the pad on the other side? I mean, basically an electronic lock that stops the squid thing from just pushing it back open.
Not that you can see.
Okay.
Hmm.
What is making? Hold on a second.
Hmm.
I didn't do it.
Hold on. Something's making a shitload of noise. I'll be right back.
I might have done it.
No, do it, Les. The call's coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
There's no telling.
You hear like a chainsaw in the background.
It's fine.
Les!
It's fine. Never mind. Yeah, gunshots in the background.
Like that.
Growling.
You remember that night where like you said, "Hey, I think a tornado's about to hear, and I'm gonna go check it out." And you just like go offline, and you're just gone. Like they got Les. Oh.
No, it's fine. We're all good. It was just an unrecognizable noise that was coming through my.
If you were in St. Louis, I would be more apt to recognize the gunshot thing.
We have our age-old game around here of gunshots or fireworks.
Yeah.
Aren't you in Illinois?
Yeah, we still have guns here.
Yes, I understand, but when I
I,
lived in downtown St. Louis, it was quite frequent for there to be gunshots.
When I first moved down here, I lived in Belleville, which is right next to East St. Louis, and this is back during the '80s when
Yeah.
crack was popular. And our house was, and Don will really kind of the only one who understands this, but our house was pretty close. It was right there on East Main, sort of about halfway down by where Memorial Hospital used to be, uh, towards Signal Hill. And Signal
On
Hill,
West Main. On West Main.
West Main, yeah, okay.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, no, you're right. And so we would sit out on our porch in the evenings, and you could hear in the distance gunfire from down Signal Hill back in the '80s. So you could hear it every once in a while down in East St. Louis. But that was a long time ago.
I live like 7 miles north of Fort Dix or whatever they call Fort Dix these days. It's a combined joint base, yada yada, MDF. And every few weeks on Facebook, it'd be so like, oh my God, I think they hear machine gun fire or mortar fire or whatever. And somebody have to post that the bases the base posts when they're going to be using heavy weapons. Um,
Nice.
There's always some Mrs. Krebs always ready with itchy on her Facebook. Like,
Mrs.
I hear
Krebs.
gunshots.
So we live very close to an Air Force base. So occasionally, so it's mostly a transport Air Force base. So a lot of C-130s and various kind of things, cargo planes. But every once in a while, the we'll get a sonic boom or some fighter jockey is rattling the neighborhoods.
Yeah, when there's a sonic boom, they're in trouble
You ever get one of
because
those
they're not
warthogs
supposed to
through?
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever see one of those A10s, those warthogs, Les? Those
Mm-mm. Not-
sinister looking panes with that giant cannon hanging out the side of it, just like, go on, civilian, do something, please.
we do get weirdly, we get a lot of helicopters around here too.
Oh
So
yeah,
just like
yeah.
cruising around.
Black
So
helicopters, you're missing, missing neighbors, stuff like that. You ever wake
they're
up with like weird things in your neck or anything?
they're usually pretty high up, but every once in a while they'll come across it like, well, for me it's like treetop level, but for them it's probably a couple hundred feet in the air, and because it always looks more dangerous when you're on the ground. But yeah, you can hear them. They'll rattle the windows.
Wow.
So anyway, all right. So both doors are closed. Doesn't yeah, but Bishop, to your question, does not look like there's an external locking mechanism or anything, or not an external locking, but any sort of electronic lock or anything.
Right.
You're not sure if if the squid guy knows how to open doors. There's really nothing stopping him.
If you've ever watched any documentaries on octopi or anything like that, they can definitely open doors.
Yeah.
Saw a video where an octopus was unscrewed a jar that he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They put the octopus in the jar and he figured it out. Not only figured out that it's a jar, but figured out that if he twisted the inside lid enough, it could get out. And he got out.
yep.
I don't know if they're that smart. I don't know if we should be eating them.
There, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he'll be working at, it'll be like the new tech bros of the future. Like their little vests on. What's up, bro? Um, I saw one of those too where the octopus he would climb up the wall and be out of his tank that they thought was secure and climb to a different tank and eat one of the fish every night and then climb back and then pretty soon after that, like,
They
hey,
were
didn't
like,
we
"Where the
have like
fuck's
10
that? Where
fish in
are our
here? Yeah. And like
where the
guys
fuck are
looking
our fish
and they
going?"
have like a security camera, like the guys looking on the ground for the fish, like, did it jump out of the tank? Where is it? I swear there was 10 fish in here last night. And they up along the wall.
Classic octopod behavior. All right. So Bishop, you've got that door closed, but you're not sure you can keep it closed, especially against an intelligent squid-like creature. So it's a temporary solution at best in your mind.
Right.
Still
So
your turn.
these doors are, well, I don't want to disable this door permanently because we probably have to come back this way.
The slice of lime is just outside that south end, right?
Yeah.
So outside the hatch.
Yeah, we still
So,
want to use that hatch though.
Yeah, this is your
so
escape route.
I will let Mallory know that I've closed the door, but if this is an intelligent creature, it may be able to open it up fairly quickly. So if you think you've blocked off the other one, you might want to get into position to blast this one.
Okay, if I have it, I guess I can't move till it's my turn, but
Right.
Correct.
and I will try to cover both doors.
All right, sounds good. Bishop, you going to do anything else?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna move back here just to make some space
Okay.
in case Weber needs to move, just so that I'm not blocking up the works.
Weber
Gotcha.
plans to be on top of that conference table in a second unless there's something else you need him to do. He's got the lightest weapons and he doesn't feel like he should be on the front lines over here.
This looks like a
We've got
job for
Mallory
Mehmet
Graves to
Tam.
explore.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so this creature, I mean, you guys can see through the
yeah,
viewport. So
quick, let's get the pilot.
I'm gonna put a light in here just so you can see it. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't work. Of course, it doesn't work. Shoot.
A porthole for us to look through in the window.
No, what is this thing? All right, let's try this. Okay, so this did it? It doesn't light it up. I don't know why it's not lighting it up. Uno momento, por favor.
Well, like I said, if I'm half blind and ignorant of the giant squid on the other side, I'm cool.
If I don't know it exists, it doesn't.
Exactly.
Uh,
I
It's
don't know.
like when I play hide and seek, I just close my eyes. If I can't see
Yeah.
you, you can't
La
see
la la
me.
la 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 la.
I had a long enough neck, I would just put my head in the sand, but I don't. So I close my eyes. La 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 la.
All right, let's do this. All right, so can you guys see that? Why is this
Thankfully,
not
no.
working?
um, sorry,
Oh God, it's so bad. All right, how about
Give
now?
us control of the
There
creature.
we
Okay, I see
go.
something there.
there's
There we
something.
go. All right. So yeah, so that is so there's the creature.
Oh, jeez.
Uh
Ah!
I'm just gonna put this in here and I'm gonna expand its amount of lightage.
Good Lord. Okay. Um, okay. I wish I had brought the shotgun, you know?
Why is this doing this? Oh, here we go. It's because I'm dumb. That's the reason why. Okay, so yeah, you can see he's still floating in there. So what he does is he sort of floats forward into the area and kind of comes up, and you can see his tentacles are sort of like on the thing. He doesn't look like he's figured out the that there's the because the button to open that door is on the inside. So he's sort of inside the little hallway.
Mhm.
And he's not getting it from the point of view. But then you see him sort of back out, and he turns over to the right. Where's my stuff here? So he turns over to the right, and you can see one of his tentacles reach out over that way, and you're not sure if he's if he activated it. I mean, it's kind of hard to see from here, but that door opens
Oh shit.
and he begins moving into it. Into there's like it looks like there's like a little hallway there, and he's moving into it.
Oh,
Great.
so he's
Uh,
moving away from us.
moving away from you guys, but I mean, it doesn't look like.
Hmm.
You guys ever watch like Bride of the Animator? My God, they're using tools.
So in this hallway, which was open before Mallory closed it, and a little big-eyed thing, this south wall,
Yep.
were there any doors in that wall?
No, not in that wall.
Okay, so wherever it's decided to go, it's not going to come back until somewhere out here or wherever they've
There is a door
actually.
at the end of that hall straight ahead.
Yeah, but it doesn't appear to connect southward.
Okay, no.
Yeah,
There's
not that you could see. No.
this south line, sorry,
Right.
appears to be a complete bulkhead, which
Yeah, it
means
does.
that if it goes into whatever this large area is over here or multiple small areas, we don't remember, it still can't get up to where we are.
I think we should quietly follow the squid without letting him know it's behind us or we're behind it.
Scooby-Doo.
You get
See,
you you get right on that.
that's what I've always loved about Tam is he's an idea man. First and foremost.
Bad ideas, perhaps, but
Hey,
What would you say? What would you say? It did. Wasn't there one moment where Don missed a shot and you guys were making fun of him and he said it was a warning shot and Chuck, you said it was warning them that you're a terrible shot.
anyway. No, I said the warning was you suck at shooting.
So it's gone in there. That was one that you guys didn't look into. Now you did look into there was a southern one and you can see sort of the light kind of open on. That door over there is still open. You remember you looked in there and it looked to be some sort of like control area or workroom of some sort. It wasn't there were some control panels and stuff like that in there, chairs and whatnot. But you guys didn't end up going in there.
Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Um,
I don't like how you just casually mentioned control room. Like no big deal. If giant Cthulhu creatures just gonna be like, play with your atmosphere controls or door controls. Nothing to worry about.
Well, you don't have any atmosphere right now, so I mean,
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like they can turn off that. What honestly, in a station this large, it's unlikely that control room has any sort of access to turn off the graviton panels. So it's not like they can go you can go zero G in this that they can do that. And I mean they haven't exhibited. Well, you don't know about the squid guy. He obviously can open doors where it's obvious how to open doors. The eyeball guys um, haven't really exhibited a ton of what you would consider to be sentience or intelligence. They've
Right.
acted largely like animals.
Yeah.
Now they have some special powers. You remember the one in that warehouse
Hmm.
back on what's that one sort of blasted you with some sort of
Mental,
mental energy of some
psionic,
kind. Yeah,
right?
psionic energy that rendered you confused and damaged you pretty significantly. It caused a fair amount of cerebral damage, but
Yeah.
which may explain the personality changes in Mallory that Chuck pointed out earlier, that Bishop pointed out earlier.
There you go.
It's because he's taking too many hits to the
Uh,
dome from the psychic
pardon me.
beasts. Yeah,
He's got CTE now.
he's gonna start. He's gonna yeah, the ride back to the gin and tonic. He's gonna start drooling. All right, so Mehmet, it's then your turn. I mean, you guys can see you guys can look through the viewports. You can see into that room, and that it's not Bishop to your eyes though. It didn't necessarily have the sort of alacrity associated with a retreat. More like it's thinking things over and trying to puzzle out some sort of new thing.
Yeah.
It
So
didn't look like it was rushing away.
so if you would like to track the mutant killer intelligent cephalopod, bye.
He's right over there, Mallory. Right over there.
See. All right.
All right, but
That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
it's Tam's turn. So Tam also, in addition to being an idea man, also has a long and glorious history of successful combat engagements. So I'm assuming you're gonna run through that door and start popping off caps.
I ready in action.
Ready in action. All right, you're delaying. You're gonna see. You're
I'm
wait,
delaying.
seeing what else somebody else is gonna do.
Yeah, go through that door
Yes.
and fire your warning shot.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Mallory, watch out. He's firing a warning shot.
Okay,
Um,
although Mallory's last di display was not particularly impressive either, so
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was an anomaly.
that was a
Yeah, I mean anybody can roll a one. It happens. Don't you can't you can't hurt yourself too much about it.
The thing
Uh,
about that scene he's talking about, you forget how many shots he fired, none of which went anywhere near their target. I only made fun of him for
They
one.
were all warning shots.
He shot like 9 warning shots into
warning
walls, potted
guidelines.
plants, various floorboards. He
that
really jacked up their linoleum.
that fern is never going to be the same.
No, no, that firm took some severe damage.
Hold on, I'm writing down. He fired like 9 warning shots. That's going on the internet later tonight.
People who shoot like you are why I got shot at a shooting range.
People who shoot like Tam is why Dr. Wagner has a kidney collection.
Yes.
All right, so Tam, you are delaying, so let me know if you want to
I'm,
jump back in after
I
Weber.
will let you know.
Okay, perfect. The creature, so Mallory, you see that eyeball creature kind of run up to the door, and you can see that giant sort of dinner plate size eye sort of peering in through the window.
Oh shit.
Uh, and then it retreats backward
Okay.
and out of sight.
Okay.
Oh,
So as you if you are you looking down the hall at it through the viewport?
With great despair, yes, I am.
Okay. So you see this thing retreat, sort of scuttles back to the very end of the hallway,
All right.
hits the door opener thing with the claw. It's just like hits the door opener thing. The door slides open, it goes in that room, and then the door shuts.
Okay. These squid are smarter than I am. All right. Um,
No, you could close the door. I've seen you do it.
all right. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, it's not my turn yet, so I
It
can't
is
really.
not. But that's what that creature does. Weber, what do you do?
I'm just envisioning Mallory Graves is our space version of De Niro's character in Cape Fear. Come out, wherever you are. All right. Let's see. Well, why am I? But first of all, why do I have a 0 initiative? Did I
I
forget to
think
do
that's
something?
what you actually got in your initiative,
Okay.
or you may have delayed
I mean,
to the very
yeah, I probably
bottom.
delayed. I probably delayed.
Yep.
I was busy wetting myself when I saw the giant squid coming, shuffling down the hall at me.
If it would be
All
more
right.
helpful, I can give you a 1 if that would be.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right, there you
That
go.
would be an
Gentlemen of
ego
one.
boost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
Very,
place, different
very
number.
nice.
I get onesies. All right. I'm going to, with my cat-like reflexes and my half cape, I'm going to backflip onto this table here,
That's
ready
awesome.
to ready to supervise what Bishop and Mehmet Tam are doing,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
stay out of the lines of fire. And I have my weapon out, and there is no other exits out of these rooms besides the one in front and the one that Mallory's at. Is that
Not that
correct?
you can see. I mean, there's not
All right.
like, I mean, I doubt that the Ursae thought to put secret doors into their maintenance areas, but I mean, it's possible, I guess, but you don't see any, no. Just
Um,
the door that Mallory's standing at and looking through, and the door that was closed that Bishop closed to
right,
keep the
right.
squid down.
So we're going to be in close quarters here either way. So I'm assuming whatever we came from this direction, right?
Yeah, you came from the south,
So
so you came up
this is really
it,
our only way to go in this particular area,
Yeah.
yeah, the
unless we
the
go farther.
airlock, the hatch that you guys connected to connects to this is an actual airlock
Right.
that connects to the outside of the ship.
And did we
None
check
of it
out
was
this
pressure.
area here? I can't
You,
remember.
you peeked in, but you didn't go in. So you saw that it looked empty. There were a couple of consoles, a couple of controls. Everything looked dark. It didn't look like anything was activated. You do know that you still have power because the doors and the lights work, but power may be intermittent. I think Jin said that there would be intermittent power in various places. You're on the habitat tier, which has been
Okay.
hold, but there's a lot of these systems are redundant unto themselves. It's not like there's one big switch that says on off that if it gets hit then it goes off. So they will have
Okay.
redundancy built in.
As I recall, some or all of us are dragging a bunch of additional suits in case we find some
Yes.
survivors, right? Okay.
Well, how many suits did you guys have? Something like
I want to say it was
five?
I want to
Oh
say it was
wait,
9, but
there
I
was
think,
seven,
yeah, I think we have
seven vac
9
suits
total.
total.
okay.
According to this, I have
7?
7 vac suits on the slice alone.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So somewhere we're toting those along. I don't know if you need to make a cargo pouch for that somewhere less, or they're just
I'm carrying them.
okay. So I don't feel like I'm particularly useful here, but I'm ready to shoot my way out of the situation, deciding what Mallory does next, depending on what Mallory does next.
Okay.
Much as I was
All
giving him grief for being a loose cannon, I need him to be a loose cannon now to start, making headway down this hall.
Tam, at the bottom of round 4, do you want to do anything, or are you going to continue to hold your position
Hold.
as well as your giblets? Okay. So round 5, Mallory, you are up.
Woo. All right. Great.
You've cleared the jam in your laser rifle, so it's back to operational. But the only people worth shooting are your friends. I don't know that.
No, we're not worth shooting. We're pointless. Don't worry about us.
Um, Look, I'm not at this point gonna go charging down the hall and after these guys.
I don't know.
Um, I
Feels
think I
feels
think I
right though.
want to stop. I think I want to uh fall back a little bit and get more information, and then if I'm gonna make a suicide charge, I want to make it a well-informed suicide charge.
Well, the creature's not in the hallway anymore. I mean, you saw him go down all the way to the end of the hallway, open up that door, go in, and then close the door.
Yeah, I'm freaked out about that too. That was just. Did you guys see that? This squid thing floated to the door. Then
So, Les,
Uh-huh. I put a
I do
green
want to
2 on
jump
you.
in here. I do want to jump in here right now. I want to say, Bishop, you're right. He's acting very strangely. He's talking tactics and stuff. We've never seen Mallory be this way before.
We're gonna have to have Dr. Wagner saw his head open and check inside and see what happens.
Too many psychic pops to the dome. That's what did him. Now he's turning into a pacifist.
Actually, I take 2
It's
supplements of powdered tiger peanuts a day, and it's really turned me around.
Yeah, that's where you need Dr. Wagner with a big shot of ketamine going, I'll bring him back. Yeah. Boom.
All right. Are we still in
Go
combat?
ahead, Mallory. You're up.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, kind of. Yeah. I mean, there are still enemies about. You just don't have, I
yeah,
mean,
we just
you
don't
just,
know where they are.
they're just
All
not
right,
slapping
fine.
you at this
Then,
point.
then,
Yeah.
then, then fine. We came from the south. We obviously gotta go east. There's no other door that goes east except from this one here, correct?
Right.
Correct. On the other hand, as Bishop ably pointed out, this is your escape route. The slice of lime is parked directly to the south of you, outside of the airlock.
Okay. All right.
That's your ride home.
Are we trying to get home or are we trying to?
Yes, yes, I would like to get home.
Well,
No, we're trying to
are,
get in here and save the lives of scientists if we can, humans.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So we need to get down this hallway
All right.
and go up in the next section, which
All
we're
right.
probably going to encounter the guy you've already put a hole in.
All right. That's cool. I'm gonna open this door, Les, and I am ready to shoot
okay.
anything that's there.
All right. The door opens,
Yep.
and you can see the hallway. There's nothing jumps out at you. It seems to be empty. I mean, you don't see any of the creatures.
Fine.
But
Um,
you do see that foreboding doorway at the end of the hall.
yeah. I'm gonna clear this room if I can. Do I see any bad guys as I walk down the hall? Does anything leap out at me?
No, there's a dead creature in the bathroom of that
Oh,
room that you killed. One of
oh,
those eyeball creatures. So it's obviously that there's more than one,
okay.
but there's nothing in there right now.
Okay. Is the eyeball creature that I killed still dead?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Um, great. I'm gonna move down
I
here.
mean, you put a fair amount of holes in them.
Okay. Well, just doing my job. I'm gonna go over here, and I'll go to here, and if anything jumps out at me, I'm gonna blast it. Uh,
Okay.
I've moved one, two, three, four, five, six now, 6 squares.
Okay. Yeah, so that's another room door. This door is it does not have a viewport, so you can't really look in the room. But it might be due to what I mean, it doesn't matter. Do you want to just go ahead and open that door?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And
Looks like
here comes
it's
trouble.
already open.
It's already open.
Is it? Can you see in there?
I
You can
can.
see in here,
Oh,
yep.
okay. All right. I made a mistake. I thought it was closed. They all look open to me because I'm the DM. But
Right.
so yeah, so you can see it looks like quarters. Now the beds and there's a rug in the middle. There's 3 beds in there with some personal effects kind of laying around. There's a desk with a terminal on it, and that weird sort of bajangly looking thing in the center is actually a rug in there. But you don't see any creatures. The beds themselves are Ursae sized,
Okay.
so a little bigger than a normal, cot, but this looks like some sort of rest. I almost said restroom. A room in which you can rest
Yes, yes.
is
A
what
resting room.
a
Gotcha.
That's a
resting room. Yeah,
restroom.
it's a restroom. I rested there. But yeah,
Yeah.
but it seems empty.
All right, good. Okay, no scientists, no squids. Okay, great. Is do I still have time to move more?
Yeah, if you want to.
Um,
And everything
yes.
is a restroom if you got to go.
That's a good point. The whole world is my toilet.
Okay, well, we passed the door right here, correct?
Yeah, that's the latrine that you actually
Oh,
cleared
yeah, yeah, yeah.
already
Sorry,
with the
sorry.
dead thing in it. So
Yeah.
the only other door is at the end of the hallway.
Okay. Les, I'm gonna go here
Okay,
and I'm gonna. Oh, so let me do my
don't
alt.
go into space.
I will not go into space. It's very cold. Hang on.
No
It's
one will
very
hear you
cold in
scream.
space, correct? Very cold in space. All right. And I'm gonna wait at that door
Okay,
and I'm
you gonna
gonna
you gonna peer in?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
What's in the
It looks like another it looks in large part like another, hold on, let me do this. We're gonna flip the direction so you can see, so you should be able to see in that room now,
yeah,
even though the door is closed, correct?
I see, yeah, I see it's a bed, I guess.
Yeah, it's another one of those big beds. You can't see much else. There does seem to be some, loose things. You do not see the creature, I don't think, from your vantage point.
Okay. Um, how much of my turn do I got left?
You move twice, not much. If you got
Um,
something that you want to do that's real quick, you can do it. But
may I please request to go on up fire if any squid
all
or
right, so you're gonna
anything?
wait there, and you're gonna have your if the squid opens the door, you're gonna open fire.
Yes, I'm gonna blast it through the bulkhead. Yes.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
Uh, Wait,
Uh,
are you standing right in the doorway of that room?
Actually, I'm trying to move my alt key so I can just be right there. Ah, I keep, damn it. Let go. All right. I,
yeah, I apologize for the squares on this. They don't.
I can't quite move the Mallory to the place where I want him to be, but I
Where do
was
you show me where you want them to be?
You
just in
want him to
front
be
of
right
that
here?
door. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was having trouble getting him to fit there. Or I
So
don't know.
like right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. You do recognize though that some of the that you there are parts of this room that you likely cannot see. Your
Yes.
guess is that it goes all the way back as deep as the other rooms. You
Right.
just can't see over there.
That's fine. But that door is closed, and I guess I'm looking through a porthole. So if anything gets near me, that's a squid. I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. All
Les,
right.
I can't move and go on op fire, right? I can't move just a little bit and go on op fire. I have to
You
stay.
can. We're gonna allow it.
Okay, I did when he left. I did want to follow him just to hear
Okay.
and go on op fire.
All right. So you're going into the hallway and you're going on op fire. What's your conditions?
Something overruns Mallory.
Gotcha. If anything overruns Mallory, you get snapshot. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Is anybody looking through this door?
Oh
Not at the
hell no.
moment.
Okay.
What? Oh, what? Oh, shit. Oh, wonderful.
All right. That's his whole movement, so he can't really do anything yet, but he is gonna go there. Bishop, you see at the view plate the unmistakable and now horribly familiar uh
I.
dinner plate size eye sort of looking in. You know too that these guys know how to open doors, even if the squid dude can't.
Yeah.
Shit. Shit. All right. All right. Damn. It's a bad scene.
All right, it's your turn too, Bishop.
Do I have an understanding of how these electronic doors work?
Yeah, general sense. I mean, they're not massively complex. They're just a thing. Now, in this area, these doors are a bit stouter than most of the interior sort of electronic doors that you'll have, because of the proximity to the outside.
Hmm.
Right. So if they need to be, so they can be, they will react to pressure issues potentially. Usually, they have safeguards. So if they have hard vacuum on the other side, they'll seal.
And then they won't open.
They will not open. Not to, I mean, they can be opened, but it would take, you would have to use a fair amount more of your electronics ability to get one of those open.
Well, I'm going to try to do the opposite of that.
Okay.
I'm going to jack into this control panel for the door,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to set it up so that it thinks there's hard vacuum on the other side
Okay.
Hmm.
and seals itself.
All
Interesting.
right.
And that's
You
something that I can undo electronically when we need,
absolutely.
if and when we need to leave out of this door.
That's cool.
Okay. So that's a pretty tough thing. I'm gonna say that's a DC
You say
a DC.
everything's a DC 30. Shut up.
I'm not gonna say no, I wasn't gonna say it was a DC 30.
Just
It's a
say
DC
it.
20. It's a
It's
DC
funny.
20 thing. So you are going to use
Hack the impossible.
Hack the Impossible. So 2 points intellect. out of your pool, which is rapidly declining. So a DC
Yes.
20, you have edge and intellect, so that takes it down to a 17. You're going to do hack the impossible, using 2 points of intellect and then so which will take it down to that'll be since two intellect points, you're going to get plus
11.
11, yeah.
Okay.
And then you are trained in using and exploiting computers, which brings it
Yes.
down to an 8.
And that's where we're at right now, right?
Yep.
6, 5. So if I need use another point at 765, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 2 more points.
Two more points will take you. So the first is 3. So you're at an 8 now. So the first point of intellect from your pool will take you down to 5, and then 2
5.
will take you to 3.
And that would put me at this. Another one would take me down to 1, right?
Correct.
So I'm gonna do that.
All right. I have your pool, or your intellect pool at 4 right now.
Correct.
Okay.
If I use all that, then I have 4 left.
Gotcha. Okay. And you would. All right. Well, you made it. You got a 1 or better.
Yeah.
But man, that could have been really bad. So you did it. And so yeah, so now you've convinced the door, and so you could actually you could hear through your suit audio, you can hear sort of like the pressure bolts fitting into the door
Right.
as it reinforces itself. Because you've convinced it that there's hard vacuum on the other side.
Nice.
As you do that, you see the creature hit the button, and he's looking to try and get the door open, and it's not working.
Interesting. Wow.
All
That's pretty
right.
That
profound.
shows intelligence.
And then I'm going to move. And as I pass by, there's a porthole in this door.
Which one?
The one, this one, right? The one I just sealed.
Yeah, there's a viewpoint. There's a
So,
viewport looking south.
so I'm going to move past this door. As I walk by it, I'm going to do this in the viewport.
You see the creature kind of like looking at you like, "Ah."
Can,
um,
can I make it? Can I make it all the way to here?
uh, yeah, probably, sure.
Okay.
You're not
Then
under
I'm
fire or anything, so
right. Then I'm done.
okay. Uh, Weber, from your vantage, you see that creature's eye in that big dinner plate size eye sort of looking through. He seemed to they're hard to read these creatures' emotions, but he did not seem happy from getting the finger from Bishop. But you could see there's like a readout under like a little red green kind of thing, and you could see what you could tell by that readout keeps flickering. You could tell that it keeps hitting the button to try and open that door, and the door's not opening. So what do you do? You're muted. Matt, are you there?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I was talking to you the whole time and didn't realize I was muted. So all right, I will give him a friendly wave. Hello. And I will how far can I get down this hall?
All the way to Mallory if you want.
Excuse me, pardon me. Hi, Mehmet. You want to get the door there? Is there a door right here?
Yeah, there's a door, but it's open.
One over.
Can't wait. There's no punch pad where I can just hit it shut while I'm coming down the hall.
You could shut this one, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do it.
yeah. Let me just get that door for you, and I'll just keep running down the hall. We're gonna have company here in a second. You got it, you got it, Tam. I
Yeah.
don't think I don't think she'll want to be that far back. I'm gonna be right here because
Okay.
what's gonna happen is Mallory's going to need to spray and pray. So
All right.
He's gonna go full marine here shortly.
yeah, let's rock.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
All right. Okay, so that's Weber going to round 6. Mallory, you're up. You're on Opfire. You haven't seen a creature in there.
It's in there.
You do see there does seem to be a wall hatch in the back wall of that.
Right.
Your guess is that probably leads into the space station proper.
Okay. That's fine. I'm gonna open this door right in front of me, please. And
Okay.
and I'm gonna carefully step inside very slowly.
Okay.
I'm trying to move with my Alt key very slowly, and if I see it, I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
And I see it. Oh shit! It's
Yeah,
right
he was
there.
right there, so he's ready to leap upon you. But you were on off fire. You're being careful, so you have your turn.
Plus, I have that jumpiness
Mm-hmm.
thing going for me.
Very
He's
jumpy,
twitchy.
I mean,
I so he's
which
doing
is
his Scooby and Shaggy tiptoeing down the hall.
that's what I had in mind. Great. Can I please shoot it a lot?
yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
great. Here it comes.
So going back to you last time,
Mhm.
you got down to I think it was a 4 or less
Right.
because you burned 2 points of speed. So I think without burning speed, if we do your guns, your prowess, your defense, you get 3 shots, and it is a we got down to 4, so it would be a 9 or better.
Okay. Um, I don't want to burn any more points right now. I'm
Okay.
just shoot it. I'm gonna roll 20, D20
Hmm.
3 times.
Yep,
So here we go. The first time, 11,
that's a hit.
um, 8,
Miss.
and 10.
That's a hit. So 2 hits. So 10d6 plus 10.
Yes, sir.
I think this may be the end of Highball
Let
Guy.
me see. 10, 1, 2, 2, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, D6 plus 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10D6 plus 10, rolling now, 44.
Boom. All right. So yeah, that the both of those shots take the creature high up in the chestal area, and one of them hits that big eye, which just sort of like melts away, and it goes flying over this desk that it was standing next to and crashes to the ground up over there
Okay.
on the other side.
All right.
Looks pretty dead.
I'm glad to hear it. Can I quickly uh, check that room? Any more squids in there?
You don't see, yeah, a quick check. I mean, you don't see any more squids.
All right. I'm a little nervous. All right. This room is clear. One down. Probably several to go.
So I watch just to interrupt you. I watch a lot of cop shows, and I love it when the SWAT guys are like running through the house and they've not checked anything, and they're yelling out "clear, clear, clear!" And I'm like,
Yeah.
a toddler hiding in a closet could get past this clear. I'm like, you haven't cleared jack shit. So it always cracks me up. I'm like, now I know these cops don't know what they're doing. Um, but
I think
yes, no. As far as I mean, you haven't peered under the beds or anything, but it doesn't look like there's any more of those creatures in here.
great. Okay, cool.
I
Good. I will. Uh, if I have time, I guess I can't go on up fire again after combat.
not
So,
after shooting someone, right?
No, yeah,
right, all right, good. Then I'm gonna keep an eye on that hatch,
okay,
and I'm gonna just be ready.
okay. It's just from you can see from here, it's an electronic hatch, and it looks like there's some sort of pressure differentialer on the other side, that's connected to it. It does look like there is that it's indicating that there is vacuum on the other side.
I see. Okay. So there is vacuum.
Hmm.
Yeah, no atmosphere.
No atmosphere, just vacuum.
Okay.
So zero pressure essentially.
Okay. But we're in our suits, though.
Yeah.
Is there is it vacuum on our side too right now?
Yeah, no atmosphere in here,
That's right. That's right. Okay.
but you're not sure. It's possible, and Bishop will mention this. It's sometimes certain portions of a space station will be kept in vacuum,
Mm.
especially near outside hatches, for example, so that there are multiple redundancy levels. Well, the one thing you don't want, especially if somebody fucks up with an outside hatch, is explosive decompression, where you're basically venting all your atmosphere all at once into space, along with all of the other shit in the room. So, these are big hatches, So, I mean, it's like, have you guys ever watched The Expanse?
Yeah, I love that show.
It's a great show. And in one of the early episodes, they're in the Expanse people are in like a fight and they get hit. they're in like a portion of the spaceship, and that portion of the ship gets hit by a railgun unit and
Yeah.
holes the bulkhead. Now, there's actually and I looked into this. There's actually a formula that determines at what point explosive decompression happens, and it has to do with how much atmosphere is on one side, how big the hole is, and that kind of stuff. But apparently the way they portrayed that, because they were able to put a patch, and it was a big hole about the size of a bowling ball. Um, but the way they portrayed how they were able to patch that and reestablish pressure, they actually not only is that realistic, but they did it in the time that it would take. Because really, what happens during a non-explosive decompression event is the people pass out and then they die. But once the oxygen level gets below 10%, people start dying. But
They start moving.
a
Yeah.
lot of times but they will pass out when the pressure drops too much. They'll still be alive, but then the oxygen drops out and then, leaves, the atmosphere is leaving and that's what kills them. But they don't feel it. So, but explosive decompression is a much bigger deal, as we learned with the Titanic billionaire people.
Yes.
No, that was bad. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, you do see the indicators on the hatch seem to indicate that there is vacuum on the other side, so no atmosphere there either. But because there's no atmosphere over here, your guess is that the locks are not engaged. There's vacuum on both sides. So which an automated sensor would read as equivalent pressure on both sides of the hatch.
Yeah,
Therefore,
there's no pressure differential.
right, so it's a usable hatch. You could probably open it up.
Okay.
Okay. Tam,
Op fire behind us.
op fire behind. So you're watching behind. So have you guys I have to give Bishop credit. Um Telling it that there is a pressure differential to lock that door was very smart. But then again, have you guys thought about how you're going to get back there, especially with if you have people that you can save?
That's
Other
for later.
yeah.
Well, if the monsters are still there, we're eventually going to have to fight our way through them. But if they've moved on since they don't see any prey anymore, then it should be a fairly easy matter for him to go in and take out what he did. In which
Yeah,
case,
no, you can undo it. Absolutely.
then the
Can
door
I
will show there's no pressure differential, and we can open it back up.
Okay.
Now the question is, if the people inside have the ability to get to spacesuits, or if they have something that'll provide them atmosphere. If they don't, we're going to have to find somewhere else to get them out of here. And I'm going to have to pilot the slice remotely and bring it to wherever we need it to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I can offer an alternate suggestion, like no one's gonna care if we cut a couple new holes in the station at this point. So
Hmm.
That's a good point.
maybe it's
Yeah,
time to take our new weapons suite out for a ride and see what it can do to a
With the
station.
G&T, the
Yeah,
lasers from the G&T, and you're gonna cut some holes? It's doable. You might not necessarily want to be standing right at the area where those holes are going to be cut, though, when they are cut,
don't
because
ever,
that might
never tell me the odds, Les.
that might be
Yeah.
just. And man, I just saw what you posted. Talk about explosive decompression. That'll do it. Taco night. All right, so you're on Opfire. You're just a Overwatch
Yep.
on Mallory in case if something overruns Mallory, you're still going to do that.
No, I'm not worried about Mallory as much as behind us now.
Oh, behind you. That's right. That's right. So you're sort of covering retreat.
Yeah, because the people that were left in that conference room are past me now, so I'm the last guy.
Right.
So I'm watching the way we came from.
Gotcha. Okay, got it. So you're saying if anything comes through that door by whatever by whatever stratagem they have deployed, you're gonna open up on
They're completely safe because I'll be shooting at
them.
them.
Safe as kittens. All right, Bishop.
you said there was a terminal in here.
Yes, there is. There's a desktop terminal on that desk right to your right.
So is it on? Is it working, etc.?
It doesn't look like it's on. There's no data on the screen, so you're not
Well,
sure if it's on or not.
I'm going to try to hit the space bar, see if it's sleeping or.
So it does come to life. Hold on one second. It does come to life, and a series of Otherwise, alien text begins to scroll across it. You suspect that this is in Ursae. Do you
Right.
speak? Can you read Ursae?
I'm pretty sure not. We there's not a place on here for languages.
Isn't there a neural nets
Yeah,
do some sort
you
of
would
like
probably be mostly you speak relatively
do we need to speak it less? I mean, wouldn't our neural nets have some sort of translation abilities for this kind of thing?
you're not getting anything but the from the G&T on your you're
Ah,
getting
okay.
you're connected so you're those of you who have lace are connected to the G&T. There's there's no server that you guys are connected to in this ship. As far as your lace has been able to detect.
You don't have the Wi-Fi password?
So I'm gonna try to jack into this terminal
Okay.
and see if I can use something that will allow me to get information off of it
Okay.
that reads out in a language I can understand.
Okay. Give go ahead and roll. I'm gonna are you gonna use
Well, I have machine interface,
right?
which
Uh,
costs me 1 point.
yep.
And at that point, it doesn't matter. I'm interfacing with the machine. Doesn't matter what language it's speaking because it's
Right.
speaking computer language to me.
Right.
Mm.
So you're
So
gonna use that?
yeah, I'll spend a point to use machine interface.
Okay.
And
And
I'm
oops.
not trying to hack anything. I'm just trying to see what's available on the terminal. Are there maps of the levels? Are there codes for any of the doors? That kind of thing.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me. 16. Okay, excellent. All right. So yeah, it takes you a couple of seconds, but you do find that there is a machine interface which you plug into your own cranial jack, and you find yourself in the midst of an Ursae computer network. Now you don't speak Ursae, but a lot of this. So you learn immediately. You learn a couple of things. First, there's a fair amount of material on this network in Terran. It's largely scientific material,
Right,
experiment results, that kind of stuff. Your guess is that this is the material was put on this network by the Terran scientists
right.
that are here. So they're working in Terran. Obviously, they haven't, they're kidnappees. They didn't learn Ursae
Yeah,
to do that. And there's a lot of so a lot of the scientific information is in Terran. Most of the most of the station information is in Ursae because this is definitely an Ursae built station. So
right,
there are a series of maps, and while the labels are sort of beyond you, you can see that. There does the other thing that you learn quite quickly is there does seem to be a pretty significant amount of damage to the network cores. There's obvious missing data. You can sort of imagine the sort of cluster of data, and there are pieces
right.
missing. There are a lot of damaged files and stuff like that. Damaged. You think that probably the holing of the space station um, took out at least part of the network cores.
Right.
Not all of them. There's still a lot. There's still a fair amount of material here, but there's a lot of damage. You do see
So
some maps.
I'll download the maps
Okay.
of the area so we have that information.
Okay.
I'm also going to download all of the Terran stuff.
Okay. It's terabytes, several dozen terabytes of material. I'm assuming that you're going to download it to your own computer equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
There's a lot
equivalent,
there.
the
It's gonna
Ursae equivalent of Clippy pops up. Would you like to download?
it's gonna
Get
it's
out of
gonna
here, Clippy.
it's gonna take a couple of rounds to get all that material transferred.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'd
Uh,
actually be perfectly happy if it took an hour because then I can get some points back, but I'm fine with a couple rounds. I'll over comms, I'll tell them I'm getting the data off their network that's still viable.
okay.
So
Go
it's
roll a D4 for me.
I'll be there in a few minutes.
3. Okay. 3 rounds for you to get that data off of this terminal.
Okay.
Now, some of it is encrypted, some of it is
Right.
you're just opening up and scooping, right?
Yeah, I'm mass download the whole thing. I can figure out how to get into it, figure out how to break encryption, all that stuff later.
Gotcha. Um, Mehmet, as you're looking backwards, you see what Weber saw, which was that the telltale the light indicator that someone
The
is
light
trying
keeps
to get
flashing,
through.
saying he's trying
It
to open
keeps
the door.
and it continues to flash, and then it stops, and it just goes to closed, and it just stays red, for example. It doesn't look like they're trying to get through anymore.
Point of order. Didn't I close the door in between Mehmet and them?
No.
They reopened it.
Oh,
He reopened
yep.
it and left it open.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he's gonna do this, and he's gonna do this, and he's going to be that. All right, Weber, your turn.
I'm gonna call out to Mallory. How's it looking over there?
I am waiting to go check out that hatch next time.
I guess I can come past you here. You say hatch, I'll come running in. Hatch? What hatch?
Okay.
This hatch right
Yeah,
here?
if you go in there, you could go in. Yeah, that's whoops, jeez Louise. Okay. Let's
Wow.
just go ahead. Yeah, I just ran right into it.
Wang.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, so it's a fairly, I mean, you've seen similar hatches on space stations before. They're largely designed to separate places that are likely to have pressure differentials from places that are typically kept at a certain pressure. So your guess is that this hatch probably does lead to the habitat section that you guys are trying to enter.
Can I tell if there's air pressure behind it or not?
It says so there is a readout and it says there's no pressure on the other side of the other side of the hatch. There's also no pressure on this side of the hatch. So it does sound like it's vacuum on the other side, no atmosphere.
There's no window to look helpfully through, right?
No, not on this one.
All right. I'm gonna attempt to open this hatch if I have the thing so Mallory can go charging in.
Okay. So in this case, you probably, I mean, you don't really have any, I mean, I don't know that it would take a ton of skill. So, yeah, just go ahead and roll a 20 for me to make sure you don't break it.
A D20?
Yep. 10. Yeah. Yeah. It's only, I mean, these things are pretty standard. It takes you a couple of minutes to puzzle out the Ursae version of this. But yeah, once you go to do it, the hatch opens and you can see. What do you see on the other side? That's an interesting question. You see what looks to be a much larger area. There's some damage. It looks like just you can also see so you can see it looks like a much larger hammer. There's some damage to the floor and stuff like that, and the walls. You can see some standard Ursae sized furniture off beyond a sort of small wall.
Okay.
But it does look like I mean, your guess is that it leads into the habitat section. You could also in the well, I don't know if you would see that. No, you wouldn't see that. So never mind.
Okay,
Nothing.
so
Never,
no
never.
no
You don't see
monsters.
nothing.
There's
You
no
don't see any
monsters.
monsters. You don't
Yeah.
see anybody. It's pretty dark in there. So yeah, you don't see anything.
Looks very dangerous. You go first.
All right. So are you going to go through?
Do I still have the movement too? Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you could go through, and I'm
Oh,
gonna.
it's open space. Ah!
No, don't go through that. I have to put you on a different map. All right. So it's open space.
It was
I
like,
can't breathe.
you remember playing Among Us during the lockdown? That was what it was like there. Just got sucked out into space.
All right. So I'm gonna put you on a different page. Hold on. I'm gonna put you right here. All right. Can you see that?
I see nothing. I see the same. Am I supposed to be looking somewhere else? I'm seeing the same map I'm on.
Hey,
Okay.
Jim.
Yeah, it doesn't. Let me try this. Hold on. No, I could never make this work. All right, so
Is
I'm
it
going
on
to
a
give you.
different map? If it's on a
Just
different map, you have to move the player flag to that map.
Okay.
if nothing happens for 3 full minutes while you're downloading files, you just drop us on a new map.
How do I? All right, the player flag.
How long's around in this game?
6 seconds.
Yeah, so it's only going to take me 18 seconds to download all this crap.
Okay, hold on. I think I got this. I think I may actually be able to do this. All right. Now can you see something different?
So far, let me see. Let me zoom out a little bit, see if I'm missing something.
Here, I'll see if I can't
No.
center.
Oh, yeah,
Can you see yourself?
yes. I gotta zoom into it because I'm way off, way
But
off
you
on the
can see
map.
yourself alone in a sort of weird room, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And you can see the furniture off to the right?
yes.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. This worked. I can't believe this worked. This is the first time I've actually had that work. All right, so Mallory, you see Weber Jix just he comes in,
Yeah,
barges in, really.
yeah, I saw.
Opens up the hatch and goes in, disappears into the darkness beyond the hatch.
Quite
Okay.
rude about it, actually.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe 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 it's a call of date. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You know.
No, this is colonization. I claim this all for Jiixlandia. Finders
I've
keepers.
discovered territory where someone was living. Look at me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the grocery store and discover a Lamborghini,
So okay,
put,
here's
plant
some
a flag in it,
simple
and there I
bottles of
am.
beads.
I claim this whiskey isle in the name of France.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, Mallory, what are you going to do?
okay,
Weber ran through there. You gonna follow him or?
sure. Fine. Yeah. If he runs through it, then I'm gonna go after him. Sure.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Full speed
All right.
ahead.
Absolute two to
Damage
me.
up here.
There's our Marine. All this
Charge.
thinking about stuff and being cautious. What kind of jarhead are you?
What's all this thinking going on
Okay.
here?
Okay. So I
Stop
think
that.
you should be able to see them.
Uh,
Uh,
I
can
see
you
chicks.
you see Jix? Okay, yeah. So you just popped out. This room. So the room that you guys are in looks damaged. There's papers on the floor. There does seem to be like a bunch of odd like gouges and scratches in the floor itself. You can see a lot of things look somewhat destroyed. There's no certainly. So your suit readouts tell you there's no atmosphere here. Your guess is that when whatever happened that caused the hole through the space station, that at least that probably decompressed this entire level.
Okay.
You do not see any people. You do not see any creatures.
Well, somebody who should not have tried this at home tried this at home.
That's what it looks like.
Effed around and found out.
Hold on, I'm writing that down.
I don't know. All right, great. Okay. Well,
All
so
right. Do you want to you still have a little bit of movement if you want to use it.
sure. Okay. I make sure Jix is okay, and
He
I
looks okay, but you can't really tell.
I'll go over here. I'll go to here.
Okay.
Can I go to here?
Yep, absolutely. So
And
Welcome
you,
to
yeah, it looks
Jiixlandia.
like a little sitting room. It's the furniture looks Ursae sized. You do see that there's a little door, like sort of little door over here. Power still seems to be on, although your guess is it's likely to be emergency power. Theoretically, certain things like maintenance areas and stuff like that probably have their own power systems,
all right,
which is why you guys had what we largely look like full power on the other side of the wall, whereas the power here is significantly truncated.
got you. Okay, it's interesting. Somebody has thought through their station d design. Let's see.
Those
I
Ursay, they make a fine station.
they do. Then what 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 what's up here? Is there just more
Yeah,
stuff?
it's just another room. It looks like you're not sure what was in here before, but there's not much in there now. Those two things that look like cabinets of some kind. They look like they've been wrenched open somehow.
That's not
And there's a bunch of like crap on the floor, but it looks like papers and stuff like that.
okay.
Nothing really valuable.
My next silly quick question: what light source? So how am I seeing stuff?
You've got lights on the side. All of your vac suits have lights on the side, so you're basically panning around with
Uh,
those lights from the internal power source. So that's pretty much what you're using right now. There's no emergency lights or anything on right now in the area that you're in.
okay. All right. I'll go to here. I have moved a lot
Yep.
by now. I should probably stop here. I want to be ready. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to go on up fire or not, but I'm gonna just be ready at this door here.
All right.
Um, I'm gonna see what happens next.
Okay. Mehmet, question.
Yeah, I was just concerned because for a minute there, you had zipped past me and the other creature. I just didn't want to lose my turn, is all.
Gotcha. No, we're gonna actually probably fall out of initiative here in a moment, but
Okay.
it is your turn. You go after Mallory.
So I'm basically looking in this direction
To the west.
to the west,
Got it.
on op fire there,
Hmm.
and it's getting really quiet behind me.
Yeah.
So I'm like yelling over my shoulder, guys, are you guys still there?
Keep
Is
in keep in mind you guys are talking on suit-based intercoms.
okay, well, they still left me.
Right. You still have audio. Yeah, they still left you. Yeah, you look around and you can see that they're gone. You can hear them talking over the intercom like, "Hey, this looks cool. What's happened here? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going
I
on up
claim
fire."
us all.
Yeah, I'm
That's mine
claiming the
too. Don't touch that, Mallory. That's mine.
Yeah. You also know I mean so yeah, you
I'm
can
still here. I'm playing
Yeah,
Pong.
I've moved to here. I
okay.
see Bishop. I'm just gonna stay here and stay on op fire to the west.
Okay. To make sure nothing comes out of that door.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Bishop, I assume that you are going to continue downloading. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And Weber, what are you going to do before we fall out of an initiative here?
I don't really want to leave those two guys, to the tender mercies of our cephalopodian um, enemies. But I don't know. I don't really want to follow Mallory into the deep dark without them either. So I'm just gonna kind of hover in the doorway between two worlds.
Okay. Hold on one second.
So I guess that would put me on op fire. I'll try and
Yeah, I guess you're kind of
try
looking
to shoot
back
Bishop.
through the thing. You shoot Bishop. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know it was you.
forgot you were
I'm
in there. You scared the hell out of me.
if he aims at me, I'm pretty safe. Don't hit the computer and disrupt the download.
Okay. All right, hold on. Okay, cool. One second. Sorry. All right, there. Okay, so we're gonna fall out of initiative right now so that you guys can progress. Basically, what I'm gonna do is where are here we go. All right, I'm starting to get aggravated with my here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put you guys all on the new map. I'm assuming once you get downloaded, and Tam, you're gonna cover Bishop while he finishes the download, and then you guys are both gonna go into the to follow the guys.
Yes, I'm gonna
Okay,
make him feel perfectly safe while I protect him.
gotcha. Okay, perfect.
The only
So
other thing I want to do is try to overlay the map that Jin gave us with where there are surviving humans with the map that I was able to get of the station levels so that we can have a more direct approach at saving
Kind of go the
people.
right way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to overlay them directly because Jin's sensors were unable to sort of determine how the things are shaped inside. But there were you suspect that it's reasonably close. These levels are pretty expansive. But there you suspect there are at least going to be a couple relatively nearby. You can also talk with Jin, by the way, so on Neural Ace. So
Oh, I
um,
thought you said we couldn't
oh,
contact
because
Jim.
of the yeah, because you're right, because of the radiation. So yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
out of contact. But yeah, relatively nearby. I mean, it's hard to make a precise kind of thing, but
Right.
and
But I
and the
just want to
maps are
keep
all
us
over the
moving in the
place.
right direction.
Right. Okay. I'm going to switch you guys.
Because this level was supposed to have a fairly high concentration of human-ish survivors.
Yeah, let me. All right, hold on. I'm gonna move down here. All right, that's where you guys are. Let's go back, however, to that. So yeah, the concentration was here. Let me just do this.
Yeah. In we
Whoops.
came,
That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on a second. Can everybody see that?
yeah, we came in
We
habitat.
see the base.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
think there's
Habitat was 37 and 11
right.
and,
So
and
there
only seven bad guys.
that's what Jin thought. Yeah.
Right. So there are already two bad guys down and two that we
Well,
know of.
no, these were Ursae that he was seeing.
Oh, okay.
So you haven't
So
seen any of the Ursae. He was his yeah, he was seeing
I thought the other was included in this.
I don't think he can
uh
read the other.
yeah, I don't think he can read the other from a life science perspective. He can
Okay.
detect them if they're close, because remember he rejiggered his sensors to deal with the one that got in your hold that one time.
Right.
But yeah, those are Ursay,
Okay. Well,
and the
that's
boxes are indicative of pressure areas, the areas of where there is pressure. So it looks like there's at least two groups on this floor of Terrans inside some sort of pressure environment.
right. And they're large groups, 37 and 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to overlay as best I can using points of commonality
Hmm.
to direct us to this,
Okay.
which is five Ursay that we'll need to deal with for the benefit of getting 37 potential Terrans. And then beyond, which is two Ursay for the potential of 11 possible
Right.
Terrans.
The two are say this is a little this chart is a little convoluted. It looks like the 2 and 11 are closer to where you guys are right now. So you're sort of like right about here. It looks like you may have to pass through at least at least some portion of the habitat to get over to where those 37 are.
Right. And that's fine. If we go to the 11-2 first, that's still a benefit.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So let me put you over there. Shit.
Because then in the labs, we have nine. In engineering, we only have two. In docking, we have four
Yeah, down at the very bottom.
that appear to be Terran life signs.
You may not be able to get them.
Well, yeah, but 48 is
Well,
the biggest haul.
Yeah, that's the ones you want.
We're hoping
yeah,
to
we're
be
getting
able
the
to
ones we can.
get those and the ones in the labs at least. We'll see.
Your guess as you enter into this area, you're looking at the maps and kind of consulting them. You think that the scientists may be to your south
Okay.
on this map, but you're not 100% sure.
Southwest, southeast,
Like due south.
due south.
But it's a guess based on Ursay maps
Right.
and the rather rudimentary chart that Jin was able to provide.
Well, no, I get it. We don't have anything solid, but that's our best guess based on what Jen gave us and what I was able to get off the terminal.
Hmm.
I'll relay that in comms.
Okay. All right. right. So as you guys, so you guys are now in there. You're out of initiative. So what are you guys going to do
Mm.
as as you sort of begin? You think you're pretty sure that you're in you're in the space station properly. In this case, you see that there's obviously been some sort of decompression event. You're guessing because of the big hole inside. That hole would certainly have been large enough for certain portions of the or large portions of this station to explosively decompress,
Right.
which could account for the detritus on the floor, the damage to some of the walls. But some of them, I mean, some of the damage on the
Hey,
floors look like claws.
Les,
Yeah.
can you do the shift ping to center assault on the map? Because I don't
Yep.
know if Eric sees everything.
I don't think I see. Um,
Do you see stuff now, Eric?
Wait, I see my group. I see a sofa,
Yeah,
armchairs, I see
yeah,
beds.
that's what you see.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, cool.
And I think we need to go east and then south.
No, best guess is due south.
We can't go south from this room because that's a wall. If you go east, it looks like it opens up down.
Okay. I don't see, well, in this map, I don't see any walls. Everything looks to continue.
You think so from you think the 11 are like probably to the south, whereas the 37, the big group, is probably to the east. It's hard to tell how far.
Okay. Well, we should start moving and
Les, is this a wall here?
Where? Yeah, it's a bulkhead wall down in the bottom.
Yeah, okay.
It must be a black wall on a black background. It's hard to see.
oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I only assumed it was a wall because I couldn't see past it. So
Right.
Yeah, I think we said we could get a ton of people in the cargo hold, right?
No, the cargo was only two, I think.
Uh,
Or the docking.
if I
No,
step over
no,
to
I'm
here,
saying that
there's
how
a
many can we
door
get on
down
the
here.
how many can we get on the GNT? And I said I think it could hold more than 40 people, but I can't remember.
Oh,
Here we go.
That was Mallory's question.
Yeah, four. But no Ursae down by the docks. Four Terrans. Engineering looks like you have some a bunch of loose Ursaes, two Terrans, and eight Ursae in a thing. Um, and hold on, let me get rid of this.
then in the labs, there are no Ursae and nine Terrans.
Yep.
So that this was trying to get the most people we could get with the least resistance. So, I mean, as sad as it sounds, we may end up having to sacrifice the two people in engineering.
Mm. Well,
I mean, you might, I mean, depending on so here's another factor is you don't know how stable that hole is. I mean, essentially they've managed, what your guess is, what Jin's guess is, at least before you guys got out of contact with him, is that these geniuses, you know, as, as Matt pointed out, they did something at home that they shouldn't have done it at home.
Yeah,
And they ripped a hole of it. Now, it could be that this is an unstable thing, right? There are very strict mathematical and physical rules that govern the conduct of real space and jump space.
right,
Uh, Big rips in those walls are not great, and they may not be stable. This may not stay the same size. You might have a problem that continues to grow.
right.
It might be that you just can't get to labs, engineering, and docking.
Well, maybe, but that was the plan initially.
Yeah,
Make sure we save everybody in marketing though. That's the important key, people.
they
Now
died at their
that
they died like all marketing people at their desks.
those guys are expendable.
Mitch, what's his name for on behalf of the advertising and marketing department? Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
The
All
more
right.
of those we save, the more pop-ups and annoying ads we get.
So here's the other problem.
So
There
they're expendable.
is if hey, my tribe didn't do pop-ups. That's not us, so don't blame me. Um, So to get the 30, if the 37 and the 11 Terrans, if the 48 Terrans that are up on this floor are in some place that has atmosphere, there comes the question of how do you get them out? I think, oh, well, Mallory just asked the question. The gin and tonic can hold 84 people. You've got a cargo hold.
That's right.
So I thought we should go.
You could hold a lot of people in there, and you typically your cargo hold is not pressurized, but often it is, depending on what you're carrying. Like when you were no, you sold that cargo to the two fix member before you came out this way.
They
No.
got some amazing steaks.
Yeah, they got steaks and medicine. Yeah, I mean, you guys are thought of fondly by the two Kings, but they're barbecuing in your honor even as we speak. Uh, but um, But yeah, so often as not, depending on the type of cargo, you can have a pressurized cargo hold or a non-pressurized cargo hold. Typically it's not. Like if you're moving machine parts, you don't need to have
Don't
pressurized
care.
because it costs money to do it, which is built in sort of in your fees. Because if you're going to have an atmosphere down there, you've got to have the scrubbers pay for it, right? So you actually have to infuse it with atmosphere and that kind of thing, and turn on the graviton plates, which cost energy and that kind of stuff. Um, but uh, but yeah, it'll hold more than 48 people.
No.
The problem is getting them to the gin and tonic. Now, the slice of lime, in addition to its current complement, I mean, it's not huge. The slice isn't a big ship. So I mean, maybe a half dozen at a time, which means you're going to be bucket brigading these people back and forth from to the gin and tonic. Unless you can, maybe you can commandeer somebody else's ship, or I don't know, an Ursae vessel down at the docks. Maybe I don't know. That's up to you guys. But yeah, the likelihood is that you can jam without taxing the life support systems on the slice too hard. You could probably fit another 6 people on there beyond your normal crew complement, which I think is also of 6.
Hmm. Hmm.
The problem, at least one problem, you guys, I guess, have several that you're facing. One problem is that Jin has to look out for the gin and tonic's jump drive, which he's worried that if it gets too close to this anomaly, it's going to fuckify your jump drives, which means you'll be stuck here. Now, not necessarily stuck, because you could ask the affronters to, drop you off at the nearest spaceship repair shop. Get your jump drive fixed. They'll be able to suck you up and jump out of
Guarantee I know a
system.
guy who got a Earl Scheib, got a great shop over here.
He could fix you up. Well, he'd probably be like, well, where do you want to go? He'd probably take you back to either Greenpernt. I mean, it depends on how close you are to stuff. So, if you want to go to the closest system, that'll be friendly. Um, so you're talking about, so you guys are, I think, right? It was this one, right? Is the
Right.
middle one. So the closest. Yeah, you're in Ursae space, so you're going to want to back out of that. The closest might be Tufik, um, or well, Greenpert's kind of a haul.
Yeah, Tufik doesn't have a lot of space repair facilities, but we'll figure it out.
Cymbeline does though.
Uh,
That's where you got your guns mounted. You got
yeah,
friends
but
there too.
aren't we fugitives on Cymbeline?
Not from Cymbeline.
Yeah,
Well, kind of. Yeah, yeah,
that's
you
where
are.
Coffin Doyle, murdered half the police department.
You did kill a couple of fighters too there.
Well,
Uh,
no, remember, I'm Mallory.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Coffin
yeah,
killed those
yeah.
guys. Mallory doesn't have a record yet.
Yeah.
Although
All right,
Coffin's doing fine.
we'll put a
yeah.
credit
Looks like
report in his
Mallory's
name
doing
then.
fine.
So yeah, I mean, you may want to not want to go to simply Greenpernt's dicey too, but that's because of the Ursae problem, which may not be there anymore. You've got allies there too. But
You know
then
what?
if you're going
If we
deeper
we
into Terran
yeah, we'll
space,
call a tow truck. We got all these scientists. We'll find somebody who wants to come see us. Go ahead.
well, with the scientists, probably, well, the one place that is going to be a safe haven for you would be Mirabilis, but it's on the whole other side of known space right now. So you guys are here.
Yeah,
Mirabilis is here.
right.
So I mean, you could get through there, but it'll take shit at your speed. Well, so if you were if so if you blow up the gin and tonic's jump drive, you'd have to get a ride. It'd probably take 3 weeks at full steam for the defenestrator to get to Mirabilis, which may become a problem because when the defenestrator falls out of jump space in Mirabilis system uh, at their Lagrange point, there's going to be several coteries of people who will begin shitting themselves pretty hard. An effronter warship materializes unexpectedly out of space in a civilian in a non-military system, there will be questions.
Yeah, and then they'll spit us out and they'll poop us out, and we're like, "Thanks, guys, for the ride." They're
And
like,
then they'll
"What
and
the hell was
then they'll
that?"
jump back out. I mean, that
Yeah,
could work. I mean, it will certainly show up on some people's radar. Mirabilis is a sophisticated system, and Walk into Light is, Mirabilis Station AI, and he's very sophisticated. So, the reality is that you're not there. It's not going to be like people are going to be looking away from their scopes and be like, "Hey, where'd that ship come from? Now it's gone. Wait, what? I don't know." They'll know.
yeah. Just got a ride from some friends, a friend from work.
Well, they're almost certainly they're going to. If what you guys do,
Friends from work.
if you guys catch a ride on the Defenestrator, he pops in a Mirabilis, pops you guys out, jumps away back to wherever he's going. Not only will they notice, but they'll have some really awkward questions to ask you for like, who was that? That kind of thing.
Who? What? Huh?
Yeah,
The giant warship festooned with guns that popped into our system.
I
Let
didn't
you
see any
guys
of it.
go.
oh, those are great guys.
I mean,
You
frankly,
gotta take the
They love
warship.
to party.
if you were the paranoid type, knowing what these people know about the affront, they might suspect the gin and tonic of being a giant space bomb. That the affronters just dropped into Mirabilis to see what would happen.
Oh shit. That would actually make a really
Hopefully, we got a bunch of scientists on board.
interesting story. Question, Les, on this wrecked uh space station,
Yep.
is there a hangar nearby? Is there a place where, I don't know, scout ships might be kept or
Well, so
transport ships?
kinda, and that would be the dock. So the docking area where spaceships, Ursae spaceships would dock with this thing is down at the bottom
Okay,
of the sphere. So if you look at it, I mean, think of this thing as like a sphere sitting in space, right?
right.
Now, and it spins too. There's well, it doesn't spin, but it has graviton plates and stuff like that. But yeah, all of the docking features are down at the bottom of the sphere, the relative bottom. Obviously, you're in
I,
space, so
I
things like top and bottom, left and right don't have the same kind of meanings as they do in a gravity situation. But yeah, it from a if you're looking at it like this from a single point in space, the docking stations will be on the bottom, quite far from where you guys are on this ship right now.
sure. I'm just thinking, how are we gonna get 48 people alive in atmosphere back from this wrecked space station back to GNT?
That's a
I,
future
I
Coffin Doyle problem, or
Well,
Mallory Graves problem.
well, it sounds like it'd be more like a Bishop problem. I mean, Bishop, you know that the G&T does have some emergency equipment in the case of decompression events and things like that. And one of those things that the G&T has is what is referred to as a soft collar, right? So it's essentially a pressurizable tube that can connect with a hatch. So basically, if you can get these people next to a hatch, theoretically, if you can convince Jin to drive the gin and tonic next to the spaceship, to the space station, you can use the soft collar to essentially make a pressurized passageway
Tunnel.
between the hatch to the G&T blocks, right? But there's no, but it's emergency equipment. Jin doesn't want to bring the G&T anywhere near this thing because of the all the radiation coming off of it. And you still have no atmosphere on even if you did that, you still have no atmosphere on the side of the docking collar that you're currently on. Any atmosphere contained within the soft collar, you open up the hatch on your side, and it's all going to vent at you. I mean, that's not a big deal because it doesn't contain very much, but your atmosphere that will keep your people alive will be vented. You would have to figure out a way to pressurize both sides of the equation, both sides of the collar with atmosphere so that people could crawl through it into the gin and tonic. I don't know if that's not super helpful.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm feeling charges of malfeasance coming up on you, Lewis.
Um,
Can we find the first person first before we start worrying about these things?
you're
Yeah.
right. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Um, okay. Where are the squid guys?
So the one squid guy that was behind you guys, Bishop managed to lock into that one
Right,
room,
right. Okay.
and it looked like at least to Tam
Tan.
that they had stopped trying to get in. They had, they were hitting that button pretty hard, and it
Mm.
looked like there was another eyeball guy there with him.
Well,
Like
I
maybe
will.
the squid fetched an eyeball guy, somebody with, he's like, I need somebody with fingers
Right.
to open this door. And the eyeball guy came through and was hitting the button, but couldn't get in. And then they stopped. So
Um,
they can't get in, but they're still in that room or still in that area.
okay. And have we established any connection between the giant explosion that obviously happened and the summoning of all these squid and eyeball creatures?
It's possible. So the squid, the eyeball creature, most of the weirdo creatures that you've seen all radiate certain types of jump space radiation. So, and what Jin would say is that's how I figured out. Basically, he taught his sensors to look for low power jump space radiation emitters,
Right.
which he could then identify as these creatures. So if the hole through the through the space station is indeed a tear, and it gives every indication of being so, a tear between real space and jump space,
Hmm.
um, it's certainly possible that this tear has opened up a way for these creatures to
Hmm.
come. If they are creatures of jump space, which they seem to be, it would be essentially a giant door right into a space station.
So
They
the
also don't seem to care much about lack of atmosphere either.
geez, okay, that's crazy. So the scientists, we assume, were goaded into opening up this doorway to jump space.
Or well, it seems clear because you've seen these creatures like this before, right? You've encountered creatures like this before.
Yes,
One of them on Cymbeline, in that warehouse, that was trapped. So it seems clear that the Ursae, at least as part of their experiments, have been opening doors into jump space and retrieving creatures out of it. Some of them they've captured, some of them they have not. Remember that one creature that got onto the gin and tonic? It just like rolled up.
right.
I mean, you saw it on camera.
Yeah,
So it was loose. So it's possible your your guess is that the Ursae have made some sort of arrangement, or at least believe that they had made some sort of arrangement with these creatures, and they
yeah,
were performing analyses on some of them and allowing some of them to cross over into real space for reasons unknown.
I see.
But you have definitely seen jump space radiating creatures before,
Gotcha.
so it's possible that essentially, I mean, theoretically, if you guys were to go into that rift, you
Right.
might find yourselves physically as humans in jump space where these creatures live.
But then, okay, huh?
Now, now jump space radiation is not great for people. That's why you have a jump drive and a ship around you when you use jump space. It's important. A suit might not be sufficient protection for you guys to enter into jump space in the manner I just described.
Got it. Okay.
Almost certainly unlikely, according to at least in Bishop's opinion.
But the Ursay were having these creatures come over through jump space rifts that they made.
Yeah, it seems so. I mean, and the creatures, to give them the credit, seem to be able to handle real space as adeptly as they handle jump space. So they don't seem to be affected by, gravitational fields
Okay.
or lack of. They don't seem to be affected by things that would kill a person, like lack of oxygen. They don't care,
Got it. Okay.
or they don't seem to care.
Uh,
Remember, you saw several of these creatures also on the Ursay ship.
right.
And one of them, if you recall, kept winking in and out like it was passing back and forth between
Right.
jump space and real space. So there
Gotcha.
might be some glitches there.
I wonder if my laser rifle operates in jump space. Interesting. Okay. Maybe it jumps even faster, so it's even more lasery. Zappo,
Yeah,
zappo.
More lasery.
yeah. They're more bigger
Double.
bleams.
That's right. Quick. Oh,
Tam would mention. So Tam, you have a fairly decent understanding of, as a pilot, you have a fairly decent understanding of jump space and how it
Yeah.
works. Essentially, when a ship goes into jump space, the jump space calculations and the jump drive create a bubble of real space around the ship, so that you're not actually going into jump space. You're sort of inserting yourself, inserting a bubble of real space that contains you into jump space and utilizing the encompassing nature of jump space to cross real space distances swiftly.
I explained that to them.
Yeah.
okay. Well, all right. I'm sure the Ursae were just having the eyeball guys over for tea, friendly tea. That's right. All right.
Well, remember
I'm sure
also
that's what the Ursae
there was some
thought.
keep in mind you also fought as spaceship-sized creatures that were floating out in hard vacuum space. So it's possible that those creatures came through the rent. They were big. They were the size of a ship. So they were enormous creatures, but they weren't in any way spaceships that you could that in the
Those are
traditional sense of the
the
word.
space buttholes or whatever we fought.
Yeah, the eyeball guys.
And we know also that the Ursae were planning some sort of technical coup or some,
Right. That's what what's his name,
someplace.
who's still on your ship, by the way.
Right.
Um
That's right. Yeah. Eagle. Eagle.
whose name I forget right now. But
No, what's his name? Oh, I forget.
it's the name
Well,
of the guy you stole from Cymbeline,
yeah.
the guy who worked for the Terran Legal Authority, who
Yes.
worked for Tyla.
Oh, the Smitchy.
Keeve. Keeve Smitchy.
Snitchy.
So he's still on your ship, by the way.
Okay. Huh, really?
But so he's on your ship, and he told you that his suspicions were that the Ursae, and this is based on a lot of, I mean, he's been working with the Ursae for a while now. His suspicions were that the Ursae were essentially trying to develop new jump space technologies in order to essentially violate the current rules of how jump space tech works, right? And use that for military purposes. The idea being, what if you could jump? You could jump into. You wouldn't have to use Lagrange points. You could jump directly next to a star system.
Right.
You could
Yeah.
jump in. Shoot everything and then jump out immediately. What if you could jump? What if you could use jump technology to just jump space 10,000 nuclear missiles into a system, all pointed at the system's main planet?
Yeah.
So it would those things are currently not doable, because of the way that the physics that allow jump space to work for ships.
Our
But
current understanding.
yeah, if they were managed to supersede these kind of things, then then suddenly it's like one side has nuclear weapons and the other side has sticks and stones.
And if that happens, we're going to roll up new characters that are Ursae.
Right, yeah, because the Ursay will then
The right side to be on.
dominate node space, and every other race will be subordinate to them.
Pretty much. Jeez. All right. Okay. So, well, um, I I want to try to get the scientists out of there and ask them what should we do. So I'm just not sure what to do next. I feel like I had wanted to go steal a ship because that's the thing that I do, I guess, and put have it a big pressurized personnel transport ship enough to carry the scientists back to Gin and Tonic. That was my harebrained idea.
It's possible. I mean, you've got a pilot with you. I mean,
Right,
you could go down there, steal a ship, bring it back up
right,
to here.
yeah,
Many ships have those kind of collars that could be pressurized.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There could be
Maybe
options.
maybe we sh maybe we should find some prisoners first and then see what they have to contribute.
You know what? That's a good idea. Of course, I'm thinking. I'm okay. That's a good idea. I applaud. I'm on board.
All right. What are you guys gonna do next?
Uh, Scream, shout, run in circles. I don't know. Uh,
Well, we've got this door to the south,
let's try it. All right, here.
and
So,
Door to the south.
that's the way we need to head.
yes, sir. Okay. I am on board. Okay.
We're
I,
we're
I,
out of we're out of initiative, right? So we can just open the door whenever we're ready.
No.
Yeah,
okay.
you guys aren't in an initiative, and you. I mean, there's in these interior doors, there's no view plates.
Right. I see. Okay. Beef jerky. Oh my God. Space jerky.
Hmm.
Right. Anyway,
Everybody
I'm gonna
loves
just
space jerky.
open up this door.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Let me do this
You
real
know,
quick.
that's great. That's fine. Let's just see what happens.
Okay.
Hello, scientists.
All
Are
right.
you there?
So yeah, as you open the door slides open, but badly. There seems to be, in this case, the power seems to be largely on emergency power. So it's sort of like grudgingly over. You don't, there's no real light. You do see the a glimmering of blue light coming from the hallway down to the south, and certain areas there. There's some glows, blue glows. It gives off every indication of some sort, maybe alert, emergency lighting. But it's blue. You you also there's a blue glow coming from the east. You can see that there's a little hallway here. You're not in a position to look at.
I see. All right. Uh, if if it's okay with the people, I will go forward. What's now to? I'm just gonna use this alt key again. Um, Les, what's this here? Is this a door here?
Yeah, that's a door there.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
Open up that door.
It opens up pretty easily.
Okay.
Opening up onto a room that looks very much like other rooms. You could see there's a door over here
Mhm.
on that area, and what you can also see in that door is that it indicates that there's pressure on the other side of it.
Pressure. Okay.
So you've got a pressure differential here.
I say on my comms, we've got air. Air. That we have a pressurized room here. I'm not gonna open that door, but I'm gonna go bong 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 on the door.
Okay, you're gonna like
I go,
hit it with something.
yeah. The butt of my rifle. I go.
Okay, so you clank on it three times. Gunge, gunge, gunge. There's some time takes place, but you don't hear anything.
All right.
No response from the other side.
All right. Cool. I don't want to open that door until I know more.
Okay.
What's to the north of me? I'm sorry. I see some
It's just
smoke.
mostly damage and like detritus stuff on the floor, things like
Okay.
that.
Copy. Okay. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. What are the rest of you doing while he's doing that?
Hmm.
What's in this room?
More detritus. Those are filing like not filing cabinets, but like big metal cabinets that were in here. The doors have been sort of wrenched open, and there's a lot of like paperwork and shit on the floor.
Okay. Quick
Okay.
scan of the paperwork doesn't show anything of interest.
It's all in Ursae.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
want to split up too much, but I'll cover Bishop if he needs to look for any sort of electronic things to suck data out of.
Okay.
What do I see at the end of the hallway?
So over on the eastern hallway, so yeah, you see, so that hallway is illuminated with blue light, that's coming from what you can see is obviously an emergency beacon on the high on the wall over there, and it's flooding this corridor. But under the beacon, floating about 4.5 feet. I'm sorry, that came out really weird. About about 4.5 feet above the floor is a well, it's some sort of drone. It's a robot drone of some sort that is just sort of sitting there idly.
Hmm.
At this distance, you can't tell It might be a security drone. It looks pretty beat up.
Okay, so do I still have movement?
Sure.
I'll move to here.
Okay. There's a door right next to where you're standing.
Yeah. But it doesn't have a peephole, right?
No, none of these doors have peepholes.
Okay. And I still see the drone down there.
Yeah, it's just sitting there. It does. Knowing what you know about drones, if this is a security drone, it's probably waiting for some protocol to be breached, right? Like something
Hmm.
gets within
Right.
however many meters, or but it hasn't given any indication that it's watching you. It's just sort of sitting there at the at the conflux of two passageways.
So can I try to find it on the network?
Uh, Potentially, like at a terminal, or
Well,
using
no.
your own terminal.
Yeah, my own.
Okay, you're gonna try and patch into the drone management network.
I'm gonna try to talk to it.
Okay, all right. Give it a shot. Ursae network. I mean, but the reality is computers all talk computer.
Right.
All right. So I would say that's a 24 DC to try and get into that, to hack into that and open up a communication. So let's see. What do you got? So you haven't rested recently, so you're running low on points, dude.
Yes, I know.
All right. What do you want to do? You got three pool, one edge.
So a machine interface
Okay.
costs 1 point,
Yep.
and it should allow me to be able to kind of connect with it.
Yep.
So that brings me down.
So that'll bring you down to 21. Machines using, repairing, crafting, you're trained in, or computers, I'm sorry, using, exploiting, that'll bring you down to 18. Edge will bring you down to 15. It's a tough thing because you're working with an alien network essentially.
Everything is a tough thing. Give me a break. Let's see here. And that's what now, 15?
Hmm.
So spend another point, and that's 12.
Yep.
That's the best I can do right now. I need to sleep.
Yep. You need an hour.
Nope.
Ooh, you did not get a chance to talk to it. You do get a little bit of information in that this drone is almost certainly part of the security drone system. There
Uh,
are not many drones that are actively pinging the system right now, so a lot of them were probably destroyed sitting in their cradles.
right,
This one seems to have been uh, on on the job
right,
before the event, the
okay,
anomalous event. So that's why it's probably still here. But it also explains some of the damage to it.
right.
Jump space radiation can have a very negative effect on silicon and digital stuff.
No. So at this point, I would like to try to get some information from this thing, but I'm just not able.
You capture it, you can directly interface with it.
Well, but that's still going to be more than I'm able to deal with.
And have somebody else capture it.
No, I mean just interfacing with it.
Oh, it's got, I mean, you could probably, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have, well, yeah, you'd have to do your machine interface, but other than that.
Yeah.
So I guess as his pals, as Bishop's friends, what are you guys going to do to help him get the hour that he needs to rest up? Because you need this guy.
I'm gonna knock him unconscious.
Well,
He's in a
it's
suit.
I need an hour to rest up for the next rest thing, which is only a
Yeah.
D6, which isn't really going to help. It'll help a little bit, but it's not going to help that much. So I would think for now, the
You just
best
do an
thing
extra
is
bonus, right? Can't we do like a support you kind of a move to help you that
no.
you don't need a bonus?
Well, no. So
Not really for the stuff that he does. He's really the only one qualified to do it.
Yeah.
if one of you guys is able to approach this drone and knock it out of the sky without destroying it, I probably still have enough strength left to try to talk to it.
Hmm. Um,
What
Maybe.
does stun stick do?
Well, it is certainly if it discharges electricity into the circuitry of the creature, it could disable it.
Yeah, he wants
Without
us to
damaging
reset
it?
there, Mallory.
Well, it looks like a little damaged already. It's there's some broken bits on it. The sensor array seems to be a little bit twisted. It's already suffered somewhat. I mean, would a stun stick completely destroy a drone of this size? Probably not. A lot of those for a security
Right.
drone, a lot of those internal mechanisms are going to be shielded too. So it'll,
Shielded. Right.
yeah. You gonna grab a tablecloth and throw it over? It could work. I mean, there's a lot of like material kicking around, and you just came through an area
Now,
where it was like a sitting area.
I have hacker skills and computer skills also.
Okay.
They're not as extensive as others, but I can give it a go to see if I can disable it.
You mean through the pathways that Bishop has already opened up into the network?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to give it a shot?
Yeah. What do I need?
Well, it'll be a little easier, but it's still going to be difficult. So I'm thinking a 20, DC 20. You're gonna get four back from what the work that Bishop's already done, but it's still going to be a difficult hack.
hmm.
Okay, so I'm trained on computers.
Trained on computers, all right. So that will be a 17. And you have hacker
I
skill,
have hacker skills.
all right, which will take it down to 11 if you burn those two intellect points.
I'll burn those two.
All right. And then you can burn points to try and drive that down. Right now I have your intellect pool at 8.
8. I burned 2 more points. What's it go
Okay.
down to?
6.
Yeah, burn
All
those
right.
2 points.
All right.
Let me go back and yeah. So I'm gonna be at 6 then, right?
Yeah. 6 or
Points.
better. 6 up.
Well, I mean, I'll have 6 intellect points left though.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
17.
All right. So, Bishop, Tam walks over and says, "Well, maybe we could do it this way, blah, blah, blah." And you help it out. And then, with a couple of things, and you point out, "Oh, yeah, try that," and help him out a little bit. And you guys get into the system. So what do you want to know? Do you want to talk to the security drone itself? That is an option.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to tell it? What do you want to
I
ask?
got you here. Ask it.
No, I want to try to download all the information that it has
Okay.
because that might
Okay.
be an easier thing than question answer.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we can review the data and find out what it's experienced and what the security protocols are for this area.
Okay. So what is so all right, so you go about to downloading that data and it's not a ton of data. Your guess is that because it's a security bot, it doesn't you don't have any long-term storage, or maybe it's on the network or something like that, but
Right.
it doesn't hold a ton of memories, maybe about 24 hours.
Yeah.
You do there are a number of instances where you have anomalous event taking place about 22 hours ago.
And that was the opening of the black hole.
Yeah, you suspect because there's a lot of different systems that it's reacting to, right?
Right.
So it's the drone security net went offline briefly. Emergency power kicked in. There was damage, basically, something akin to like an EMP flooded through the area. So the drone recorded a couple of an incidents where it fell, out its graviton repellers essentially failed briefly and it fell down onto the onto the bulkhead, and then
Right.
got its power. It's sort of basically then you see a restart event where it basically restarted all of its systems, powered back up, and was able to sort of go back on point. Its orders have not been countermanded, and its orders are basically stay in this spot, challenge any non-Ursae who approaches, asking them their business and why they're passing this way. And there are a list of sort of appropriate responses on the part of Terran and non-Ursae people.
Mm.
This is a habitat thing, so right at the top of the list is I'm going home, I'm going to my quarters, that kind of stuff. Then if they are supposed to be there and they're on en route to their quarters, that bypasses its security protocol. It's a non-lethal drone. It's designed to capture, not kill. So all of its machinery are like there's electronic stunning, audio stunning. This is especially designed for humans. Ursae's ears work differently than human ears, so it,
No.
it will emit sonic booms kind of thing to stun or discombobulate Terrans. But it's non-lethal. Nothing is designed to kill. They're not interested in killing their charges. They want them to work.
They're kidnapped scientists, yes.
Yeah.
Does it have any maps on it?
It only has a map that leads it back to its internally maps. It only goes back to its essentially its charge station, which is
Right.
sort of to the north and east. There's a room that it follows a pre-described path to get there, and then it has a protocol where it like literally will set itself in its own charging cradle and recharge itself.
Yeah.
That's basically where it lives when it's not working.
Right. So it has no information about potentially how to override the protocol to reset up atmosphere or any of that.
No, it doesn't have anything like that because it doesn't require atmosphere to work, so it's not sensitive in that way.
Right.
So it's not sensitive to atmosphere. Now, that said, it usually operates in the presence of an atmosphere, and it's designed to do that. I mean, it has propulsion systems that work best in an atmosphere. They also work in vacuum, but not as well.
So if it works better in an atmosphere,
Hmm.
it doesn't have any protocols on how to restore that.
No, nothing like that. I mean, it's not. It's just a security drone.
Okay.
It reacts to provocations
Okay.
and mans a post.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
So you could
Same
see
drone, same.
you could see that there are probably no more than 2 dozen active drones on the entire station right now.
Right.
But you can also see that the complement of drones was probably along the lines of 200. Most of them are offline, are are
Right.
are, are being seen as offline.
Right.
What was your question? Does it record activity? Like, does it respond to? Yeah, so its primary response protocol has to do with motion. Motion in its motion detector. So this is interesting to you. Its motion detector is primarily atmosphere based, right? So changes in pressure. So as you know, when we pass through air, there's a pressure change. A pressure wave essentially forms in front of us in the atmosphere as we push through, as we walk around. This particular drone's sensors are designed to equate those pressure changes with SOFONs running around. It also has heat sensors and things like that, and those heat sensors are tuned primarily to Terran heat signatures. So those two protocols will basically tells it if it's moving and it has heat, it's probably worth talking to.
Got it. Um, would this drone have any records, any video records of camera records going back to when this explosion happened?
It does, yeah. The camera records are in there, and there is video. Largely that video. I mean, if you want to take a moment and sort of peer at it, and watch that video, it's largely unimpressive.
Okay.
You
All
can
right.
see, in most part, there was video of the area that it is, and there were a couple of Ursaes that passed by pre-anomaly. And then when the anomaly occurred, it largely disrupted. I mean, from a camera standpoint, from a video standpoint, it's not really much to look at. Everything's fine, and then all of a sudden, it wakes up on the floor, kind of thing.
Right.
And then you can see on the that at this point in the camera time code, you can see it begin to roll through its own restart mechanisms. The camera goes off for again, and then comes back on, and you can see it sort of begin to lever up again
I
and
see.
take things. At this point, the biggest change that you notice is normal lighting prior to the anomaly, blue emergency lighting afterwards.
Hmm. Okay. All right.
But it's still trying to do its job, but you can tell that some of the damage is like its sensors aren't working very good, and it's reading, so it doesn't, it's not super smart, but it's not interpreting the lack of atmosphere as lack of pressure. It's sensors, the pressure differential sensors that it determines to where people are trying to read zeros, and it's not understanding why that is. So it's not really seeing anything. So as if you guys may theoretically could pass it, you're not, I mean, you're giving off waste heat through your suits, but you're not changing the pressure because there is no air pressure, right? So at least one of its categories of, is this a person approaching me that I need to talk to? At least one of those is never going to get fulfilled because it's now you're in essentially a zero pressure environment.
No.
I
And we can assume that behind it are habitations, because that's one of the primary things it's asking for.
This area, this entire floor is largely ha
Living quarters.
living quarters and amenities for those who inhabit those living quarters. So like kitchens, lounges, TV watching rooms,
Right.
gymnasiums, all of those kind of things that accrue with, but most of these rooms would probably be living quarters.
So then a brief overlay of the map we have from Jin.
Hmm.
Does it seem like the people we're looking for are this way? Because we've gone south and somewhat east from that original room.
Hmm. So yeah, you think that they are largely west and south, and not a great deal south.
West
Um,
and south. So the
from
other
where you're
direction.
standing, so the big group is east, is still east, and large. I mean, at this point, the maps don't. Once you get further afield, the maps don't line up so good. So
Right.
east, the smaller group is west and somewhat south.
Well, this door here,
Hmm.
from what we can see, goes west and south.
Yes, but it's
So
also open.
yeah.
If
Well,
there are people without suits, they're in that room, they're almost certainly dead.
well, if that's a room, but what we're looking for are 11 people in an environment with atmosphere
Hmm.
and two loose Ursae, right?
Yeah, you're not sure. The Ursae were nearby, but maybe not as much now.
Okay.
I mean, you're not getting constant inputs from
Right. We can't talk to Jin.
right.
So if they're loose, they're moving and we can't tell where they're going.
Well, and certainly since Jin, all right, so here's something else you need to consider. It's been a couple of hours since Jin did that scan, right? So it's possible that the Ursay have moved. The people, if possible, may have moved. Maybe they're trying to save themselves. I don't know, and we're not entirely sure how the Ursay are reacting to this event. Certainly, they're in the middle of a pitched space battle with the affront, which they didn't expect. But it's reasonable to assume before that they were, I don't know, trying to evacuate their guys, maybe trying to save the prisoners. We do know from Kiev that at least on one previous occasion, the Ursay grew so paranoid and suspicious about their captured scientist cadre that they were all executed because they caught a couple. Remember, Kiev told you this, and it may be an apocryphal story, but Kiev was told the story that at one point, several of the scientists were trying to get a hold of a communications array so that they could send a subspace message explaining their plight and explaining what the Ursae were supposing to do. And Keeve told you that he heard from that other mercenary of theirs that upon hearing this, they basically restarted the program from scratch with new. They executed everybody and restarted the program with new scientists.
All right.
Now, whether or not that's true or not, whether or not the Ursae would be in the face of what's going on right now, I mean, they might be trying to regroup the scientists and preserve their knowledge, keep what they can because there's certainly been a lot of damage. This ship is big enough to hold hundreds of people, Ursay and Terrence. Now, whether it probably does not anymore, but but it could. It was built to hold easily over 100 scientists, probably. I
Right.
mean, by its
What are
size.
these red dots down here again?
So you're looking down there. So those red dots seem to be some sort of, well, at least to your eyes, they seem to be some sort of organic growth that is on the wall and floor. It looks a little tumory to you.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of want to wipe that out.
It doesn't look like it's not moving. It looks
Look,
like, I mean, it's more plant-like than anything else, but
pus spores or eggs is my theory right now.
yeah, they're just
Um,
sort of attached to the wall and floor. They look like there's suction cupped on there or something. Not with actual suction cups, but you know what I mean.
Hmm.
okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Okay. That's fine.
All
Can
right.
we
It seems
Other
terrifying.
things you want to try and find out from the security bot?
Well, I've already downloaded all the information.
Yep.
So, like I said, there's no point asking it questions necessarily. I can look through, spend time looking through the logs.
Are
And
you his mommy now, or is he still dangerous for the
Well,
walking
you're
dog?
he's certainly Bishop is certainly in a position where he could give that bot new instructions.
hmm.
And
So
those
if he,
instructions, and it really does, I mean, for a fairly simple machine, it does have a fairly robust level of I mean, it's not the kind of machine that you can just say, well, I only do security botting. That's all I do. I mean, you could
uh,
you could you could use it in other ways. It does
Can
it does
that
have a fair bit of resilience
can
command
that
wise.
bot go down there and scrape off and destroy those egg sacs?
You
well,
I'm
run
just going
push.
to call them egg sacs if they're not, even if they aren't.
its weaponry is non-lethal ordinarily.
But it can smash them with its, you know, whatever it has. Just
Well, it
push it
doesn't
against the wall and smash it.
it doesn't have like manipulators. It doesn't really need to pick up anything. So it doesn't have hands. But it could like
But if
hit
it has a
things.
appendage of a stun gun, it can just poke them. And I
Yeah,
don't want a human getting close to them.
yeah, it could do that.
So if I can give it directions and he wants it down there,
Hmm.
I'll send it down to the eggs or send it down to whatever that is. I don't see it.
Okay. It flies past you, turns the corner here. You get a nice look at it as it goes past, and this is kind of cool. You
Oh,
can see,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, you can see it kind of spinning around.
Oh,
It turns and heads down
Yeah.
there.
If it just uses the front point of itself just to poke them,
Yeah.
I just want to.
So it does. So it lowers. Its usual flight area is about 4.5 feet. So it lowers itself down. These growths do not seem to be higher than maybe a foot and a half off the floor. Some of them are
mhm.
actually
Okay.
literally on the floor. Some of them are attached to the thing,
Okay.
and it begins sort of using that pointy front to sort of like edge them off,
Puncture
like
them.
scrape them off, puncture them.
Yeah.
So it does puncture one, and this sort of like. And they're sort of when you get close, you can see you get a better sense of the scale. They're about the size of a 16-inch softball, and they're little clumps of three, sort of like stuck to stuff. It punctures one, and a fair amount. It's just sort of like once after the initial puncture, it's almost like it just tears right open, like the skin is stretched pretty tight, and then a
Okay.
whole bunch of sort of like reddish purplish goo comes pouring out onto the floor. At which point, You see something coming up fast from the south.
Summon Mama.
So that thing, you're not sure what this is, but it looks like this.
Ah,
Ah,
me no likey.
Yeah, I don't care for that at all.
It sort of comes up above the creature and just sort of drops down on it, and those tentacles kind of like grab around it, and you can hear it. So Bishop, I'm assuming you're still in contact with it from a network standpoint.
Yeah,
It begins to start throwing engine errors. It looks like these tentacles are keeping the fans that keep it up in the air from moving.
right.
And it's sort of and there's also some it's getting proximity. You're getting proximity alerts. You're getting engine errors. You're getting graviton errors. It's beginning to it looks to your eye. It looks like whatever this thing is, it's crushing it.
Yeah, we
Now
need to
it's
kill that
now
thing.
it's now it's not crushing it like a beer can. It's sort of
No,
crushing it slowly.
yeah,
It's still a metal security bot. It's hardened. But yeah,
Right.
it's starting to throw errors all over the place.
So the weapons that you said it had
Yep.
were electricity and sound.
Yep.
So give it the command to fire electricity.
Okay. You can't see it, but your thing is probably has it basically has a cattle prod that emerges from the housing
Right.
and attacks. So it tries to stick it with the cattle prod.
wow.
it should be pretty easy since it's engulfing it.
Come on,
Hmm.
Droney. We believe in you.
12. Yeah. So you do. So as you're reading, I mean, basically you're following the action on the readouts that you're connected to. But
Yeah.
basically, yeah, it discharges electricity into the creature, and you see a weapon discharge thing. And Tam, you probably see what looks to be, sort of the snap of a small electrical arc, but it's surrounded by this creature.
Right.
You're not sure if it had any real effect. It doesn't seem to be bothering the
It
creature all
didn't
that
slow it
much.
down at all.
Yeah, well, it's not really move. I mean, it's basically
Well,
it's crushing it. Now it's
it's
trying to
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
move it away from the tumors.
Then tell it to fire audio.
Okay. Uh, it does so, but in this case, you do hear what sounds like a snapping sound on your suit audio. The problem is, you're guessing is because there's no atmosphere. There's nothing for the sound waves to travel on.
Mm.
Travel on.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
that was the only two defenses it had. So,
Guys, we need to wipe this thing off though.
Mallory,
Well, when it's my turn, I'm gonna blast.
Yep,
Um, Tam, if you could kindly hit the deck.
I'm prone.
Droney, look out.
Tam throws himself to the
Actually, no,
bulkhead.
no, I'm gonna jump into this room here.
Okay.
Right, right. Uh,
There's Tam, as you jump in there again, this room is gives off every indication that this room was a victim of explosive decompression. It does look like it was once a small sort of quarters for somebody, and that somebody is still in the bed, quite dead.
oh, wow.
Okay,
They're giving off they're not blown apart or anything. They look like they've asphyxiated.
they have fixated, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, if you look at the body, you can see there's petechial hemorrhaging in the eyes. Their skin has a blue cast to it. Um,
okay,
it looks like they were probably sleeping when the anomaly occurred.
okay.
Wow.
I'm actually gonna be right at the door
Okay.
because I want to be able to look down to see if this thing starts coming up this way.
You want to see the bleams? Right now, it hasn't moved towards you guys. It looks like
Well, no,
yeah.
Mallory's gonna attack it though.
Okay. All right, Mallory. Your range is about 60 meters. Or no, no, more like 20 meters, maybe 25 meters. So you're still well within AC 15. Um, actually, let me make sure that it doesn't have any particular. Yeah, no, no. Yeah, so yeah, 16 actually. So your DC is 16 to hit this thing. Um, with your uh
I'm trying to add, yeah.
with your now this is a speed thing, so you have speed and edge, you have guns, so that'll take 6 off right away.
Yes, sir.
So 16 minus 6 is 10. You're at 10. I don't think your combat skills add to damage. They don't add to ability to hit something. So at this point, I've got you at 9 in your speed pool, and you're at a 10. So if you want to spend 2 points, that would take your speed pool down to 7, but it would take it down to a 5 or better to hit.
I'll spend 2, please.
Okay.
I want to just get this thing out of here right
All
away.
right. Fire away.
So rolling D20. Here we go. Give me here.
That's a hit.
Here we go. And 1. There's 2. That's a 20.
Oh, natural 20. Roll again to see if you get a hit. Then you might have a crit.
13.
13, that is a hit. So that is a confirmed critical. You want to go ahead and roll your last bleam?
Yes, sir. Last blame. Kablimo. 15.
Oh, 3 hits and one of them a crit. So I can interpret the chart in a science fiction manner if you want to use the chart, or you could take double damage, one of the two.
Oh, chart, please. Let's chart this.
Chart. Okay, so this would
Chart is
be a
great.
ranged weapon. It's a
Yes.
laser weapon. So, oh, max plus bonus. Terrible gash. You get a good shot at it and just blast right through it. All right. So, what is your max damage?
Let me see.
So 5d6 plus 5 would be 35 points.
Yes, sir. So it's 3 shots at 5d6 plus 3 per hit.
All right, 35 points would be do this. And then we have 7 left. Okay. All right. That hit, that max damage hit did a fair amount of damage to it. So it is reeling from that, kind of spinning around. Now you had essentially 3 other hits because the crit was max plus bonus. So bonus is rolled. So you have 15d6 plus 15 as the lasers tear through the thing.
All right, here we go. 15d6 plus 15 equals 89.
Wow, look at all those sixes. Holy shnikes. All right, so those laser blasts basically just blow it out of the sky.
Wow. That's
It's thrown backwards all across the area where the tumors are, and it just falls to the ground with a well. If there was sound in this place, you would hear a meaty splat. But in this case, there's not. It just kind of collapses onto the ground.
okay. How likely is it to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sixes? If
Out of 15,
yeah.
Not likely.
that is not bloody likely. So I suspect you've been cheating this whole time. Now the
Three
uh,
fives, not a single one.
almost amusingly, as the creature is shot off of the bot and sort of falls to the ground, the bot sort of wiggles itself away, gets out from under the creature, flies up again, points itself at the tumors, and begins continuing to scrape them off of the wall.
Wow.
You go, Droney. You do
Uh,
you.
All right. Okay. Let me do a couple of things here. I just gotta move some of my guys around. What guys? They said innocently.
uh,
He's gonna stay there. He's definitely staying there. Okay. All right. So we never did do any initiative, right? Because it attacked drone and it wasn't you guys. But so what do you guys do next?
um, well, uh, do we have any live scientists yet at all?
You know, but as far as you know, the live scientists are close. There are at least 11, or at least at last count, there were 11 scientists in a pressurized area somewhere nearby. Now, you will
Yeah.
recall that I almost said coffin, that Mallory saw that this door right here in this room, which you guys are not in right now, had a pressure differential sign on it. Now Mallory clanged on the door a couple of times, but there was no response from inside.
Mhm. Okay.
So the room that Mehmet is in,
Hmm. There's no other doors in that room.
Okay.
Decompressed, dead guy.
Right. So we're still trying to go south and east.
Yeah,
So if this upper room here has a door in it and it goes to an area with atmosphere, we should probably check that out next.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, actually, atmospheric room that doesn't have everybody alive, and it would be better for us because then we could get in the room, reseal it, and then keep going to find people who are in the pressurized areas.
Now, the door where Weber Jix is, that is possibly the way to get to the 37 scientists. But at this point,
Yeah, no, well, maybe. I mean, you're at least based on the charts that you have, you think the 37 are quite a bit to the east.
right. But that's a farther distance. And at this point, we don't know how we're going to deal with that many people. So we might want to, if they're still safe, just leave them there for now.
Okay, so let's. So I don't need to be down this hall, is what you're saying. We'll come back here this later.
I
Oh,
think
you
this
can open up those doors if you want. Let whatever's in there.
I think this room where
Pardon me.
we've actually found pressurized space is probably the best way to go so far.
Okay. Well, do we want to explore the rest of this place though? I mean,
Uh, I would say we
Ship's
want to
big.
explore, but at speed
Yeah,
rather
we're
than
not gonna
search for.
explore the whole station. We just need to find people and get them to
Yep.
the shuttle.
This is like Wandering Monster Central, so we don't want
yeah,
to hang around
all
this.
right.
Right.
So,
And
and
it is my bedtime, boys.
oh yeah, geez.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
11 already? Jeez
it's
Louise.
11.
Okay. So I thought we still had plenty of time. All right. I apologize. I didn't realize. So, all right. Well, while I got you, just stay on for a couple minutes. We'll stop there. But I wanted to ask you guys. So, finishing these campaigns has been taking longer than I expected. We're coming up, I had at least for a couple of these, I thought we might be done by now. I told people autumn, I certainly feel like we'll be done by the end of the year. But I wanted to ask you guys if you would be willing to have additional game days to sort of wrap up certain things, right? So for this particular campaign, depending on how you guys go, it could, I essentially what I'm thinking is I would like to have this wrapped up by the end of the year for sure. So I wanted to ask you guys, would you guys be up for additional game nights, maybe on a Saturday, maybe on a Friday night, in addition to our normal monthly Sunday game?
I'd like to say yes, but I always feel like my Saturdays and Fridays are always taken. So um, I guess if there's a one we can plan ahead of time, I can see like I can
Yeah, they
do
would be
Saturday.
pre-scheduled. We would want to do it so everybody can make it.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, we
Fridays and Saturdays are tough for me.
because bowling.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, because I bowl on Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays are open.
Okay.
Now
What if we all took a day off work? We all
I
called in sick.
realize it doesn't that doesn't probably work for everybody else, but I'm just saying.
Well, it would depend on the time. I mean, we could go if we went from like 7 to 10 on a Tuesday, that might
Yeah.
work as well. Anyway, I just
Yeah,
want to mention it. If this was something, maybe send me an email or send an email to the stuff we got out saying, is there certain days that are better for you or there's certain times that are better for you? Would you even be willing to do this at all? So,
Yeah.
and just let me know your thoughts because it's, everything takes longer than you think it is.
right.
I was telling somebody in Wrath of the Righteous. I think it was you, Chuck, that I was telling this to.
Yeah.
Do you know when we started Wrath of the Righteous?
November
Like
2017.
2017.
yeah.
So we've been playing that game for 7 years.
Yeah.
That's two companies ago for me.
Yeah, I know. Same. Three companies for me. But yeah, so
Yeah, so it always seems like, oh, we're in book 5, we're close to the end. No.
no, we're not.
When
But
you said we're done by fall, like of what year, Les?
exactly. So anyway,
I've heard this before. Okay.
think about
Yeah,
that. Let me know if it's something that it would be possible. If we could figure out if there are some days when we could look at it maybe and make something happen, we could look at doing that.
we
Sounds
all
good.
call in sick, and then we tell our significant others that, oh yeah, we're staying home to, burn some extra traveler hours in and
Yeah,
see
that'll
how
be
well
good.
that turn goes over.
That'll be real good.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, and
and maybe it won't work.
then.
Well,
Yeah.
it might not work. So, but I figured I'd ask.
Just put
Okay,
put it in
I'll
the
send out an email because I think Tuesdays work good for me. Wednesdays are a possibility.
We could also look at the opportunity of adding an extra hour, like starting at 7 instead of 8, and then going to our regular 11, and have a 4-hour game as opposed to a 3-hour game. We could also do something like that as well.
Time will work also.
you
Yeah.
know that's
Okay,
Or
I'm
we
gonna
okay.
get
could
guys.
or we could confound the rules of everything and add an extra 2 days to the week.
That would be in
Let's
violation of jump space law. So,
I got a genius plan for you here.
Well,
You know,
jump space law apparently has already been violated, so
I got a genius plan for you. You know that Zoom has those hangout rooms, right? So you
mhm.
run B team and Traveler at the same time, and you just jump in between the two. We'll get all our kibitzing and stuff done, and then just peer back on the screen like, okay, so what are you guys gonna do here? Okay, I'm gonna think about that for a second. I need to jump off again and go after B team again.
Well, you saw
there you
what Don
go.
was doing. So you saw he was sitting in a different place than he normally does. He
Mhm.
set up two laptops because Iron Fang was supposed to take place tonight. He's in both things because we sort of jimmied the schedule
Right,
Right.
right.
at the beginning of this month. So this was his Iron Fang night. So he had two laptops set up, and he was going to play both by going back and forth on his turns. So he
That's
was ready.
awesome. I love it. All
Cool.
right, guys,
All
I
right.
gotta go to bed.
All
See ya
right. Thanks, guys. This was awesome.
later.
I
Thank
will
you.
talk with you soon. Let me know your thoughts on the extra days, extra time, that kind of thing.
Yes,
Awesome.
All
sir.
right.
Bye.
Night,
Cool.
guys.
Good night.